And we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil.
And this is Annabelle Lecter.
And we're joined by James Lamond of It Came from the 508, which is my area code as well.
Hey.
It's good to have you here finally. It's been years.
I know. It's been a while.
And James is here to represent his new audio drama horror. I never know what order to put these words in. Audio drama horror show Beneath the Red Umbrella. I love audio horror dramas, and I've been dying to hear a new one. So,
well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Annabelle. It's been a wild ride. We're only on episode 2, and the reaction's been mind-boggling.
Yeah,
I'm really proud of it. I'm really, really excited for people to see this all come together over the course of the rest of the season. It's going to be wild. We only got 4 episodes left this season, but it's going to be.
And you'd said to me that this is you've done all kinds of different stuff, all kinds of different horror things, and this is just a new place that you have not been before.
No, this is uncharted territory. This was an all new experience. I was learning as I was going with how to put it all together, and it's cool in a way. It's kind of me going back to my roots, because before I even made films or wrote any horror or books or like any of that stuff, I was a musician and I did audio production. So in a way, going back to something that's solely completely audio is kind of going back to things that I already had a lot of history with. It's just using those skills in a really unorthodox, different way.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
Before we I'd love to go into that a little bit more, but can you give the audience a little more of an idea of what they can expect if they were to tune into this show? Not this show, your show.
Into my show. It's I know, like, people have like thrown out a million things. Like, it's a horror podcast, it's a horror storytelling podcast, or it's this or that, or I just go with immersive horror experience. That is the best way I can use to describe it. Is it an audiobook? No. It's like an audio book with maximum effort applied to it. It's got a full score. It's got sound effects. It's got actors. It is a fully thought out, like, old school Orson Welles War of the Worlds style audio drama with even more than what he was doing. It's really over the top. I do not think this is for people that react badly to loud noises. We've got gunshots going everywhere. We've got zombies screaming. We've got all kinds of craziness. It's intense. It's very intense. A lot of people have told me, like, from initial reaction, they're like, okay, like, usually I put this stuff on as background noise. This isn't background noise. This, like, gives me anxiety. I was like, yeah, that's the point. I was
don't
like, you're
try.
supposed to be.
Don't I have some of those I listen to driving, and all of a sudden there's this giant thing, and I'm about to drive off the highway. So not for driving.
No, this isn't for driving. This isn't
power
for
tools.
Yeah, this isn't for putting on behind as background noise while you're doing other things. You're gonna get surprised. Like, don't cut vegetables when you're doing this. You're gonna drop the knife. Like, it's scary. It's supposed to be scary, and that was kind of the point. I wanted, because I listened to a ton of audio dramas. I wrote a ton during the pandemic. This is where all this material came from. Yeah. I had stories and stories and stories just sitting there because I had nothing to do. And I listened to a lot of horror podcasts. And the thing I picked up about most of those storytelling podcasts is, like, they're not scary. They're telling you a story, and the story could be scary, but what's actually happening to you in the moment is not scary. And that bothered me immensely. I was like, this is such a ripe ground to have the absolute crap scared out of you. Like, this is a place where you can play with someone's imagination to the point where a movie can't do it.
Yeah.
You know? And so we really, like, me and the whole team, I mean, there's like 25 of us. I don't know how I got so lucky to get this huge team of people together to make this thing. And we just said, let's make this as scary as we can. Let's not hold back. Let's not pull a punch. So I don't know. I don't want to talk up myself, but this is the scariest damn horror audio drama you'll ever hear in your life.
I'm excited. I same as you. COVID stuff happened, and I started listening to these things. And there's some great spooky stories. There is some really, really good content, and I enjoy it. But I think you really have hit something that you can listen to, and they're great stories. But in the moment, unless I'm driving in my car on the highway and something is boom, not especially scary. Like I'm not thinking about it later. Like, what if this were to happen to me or anything like that?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
exactly. I want people to walk away from it haunted.
Yeah.
Like they're thinking about it later. Like the first episode, the confession. I've had a bunch of people, and I don't want to spoil it, but I've had a bunch of people like come at me later, like, "Oh my God, and they finish the sentence for me. I'm like, "He sure is," and they're like, "Oh, that's so messed up." And yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
What was the difference, for writing like a serial as opposed to, writing short films or feature films? You want to end with like a cliffhanger, and had you ever done anything like that before?
We've not. Well, I mean, this is more. It's hard to explain. Like the episodes are connected. There is an overarching story, but each individual story can be digested on their own. It's like an anthology, almost like a Tales from the Crypt or a Tales from the Dark Side in that situation. But there is an overarching through line through the whole thing. But I wanted it to be more digestible than that. I wanted people to be able to pop on for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes that the episode is, get a whole piece of the puzzle, but not the whole thing. And I didn't want to leave it as a serial because to me, serials have an incredible unevenness in quality because what ends up happening is you're chasing the next episode and you might not have the whole thing fleshed out. I gave myself this 6-episode arc so I could have an entire fleshed out plan. Like Lucas thinking about Star Wars, like how he was going to rack out the whole thing. I gave this whole overarching plan, and then I worked each individual story into it.
Yeah. Just don't ever CG Jabba the Hutt into a future one.
I might. You never know. I do have a giant creature.
Interesting.
Coming along. But the best thing about this compared to like films, budget doesn't matter. I can think up any of the craziest, most insane things on the face of the planet that I could never get away with in a film because we don't have the budget for it. Whether it be feature or short film.
It's a few weeks ago we had on Brian Moore, who's trying to do this new Lovecraft thing. He made all the money, thankfully. But that is something that comes up with Lovecraft is people can't make movies of it because the things are so big and they're incomprehensible. It's like your imagination is part of the process of being into Lovecraft. Yeah. And so it's like almost like you're going, he probably wasn't thinking about that at the time because people were just writing stories. That was how they were making their money. But it seems like you're capturing that in a different way and recognizing the power of storytelling without providing the images.
I told my team like this when we started. I was like, we are not painting a whole picture. We are providing a canvas and we are letting the audience paint the rest of that picture with their mind on the canvas. I was like, it's got to be open enough where people can picture these people. We don't have to get wild with exposition. None of that matters in this space. Let the actors do their voices. Let me do the narration. Let it all coalesce and let them think up the way it's playing out in their head. And it's 10 times scarier that way.
I'm just thinking about, I know some of these podcasts, I wonder what the art is going to come out of for this, because there will surely be, once this really gets going, there are going to be audience members that are going to try to depict what's going on in their imagination.
I absolutely hope so.
Yeah, that'll be so cool.
I absolutely hope so. I hope so. I hope that if I get to the point where people are like, if I'm at conventions and we're like promoting this or the movies or whatever, I've gotten fan art of our movies before, like people doing like Abigail from the Box or like the killer from One Last Kill or whatever, and that's wicked cool. But if I get people coming up to me making art of the stuff they thought of from this, I'll be flabbergasted. That'll be the coolest thing in the world. That's what I'm trying to inspire here. Like that kind of stuff is like, well, I should say we're trying to inspire because there's 25 of us. It's massive.
I think that's part of the reason. The first part of Stephen King's It always is better. Where the end, because the end is like Pennywise is what you most fear, and how do you actually show that? You can read that, and whatever you're reading, comes to your mind. But how do you actually film that and show that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a huge Stephen King fan. We have our own Stephen King podcast. I mean, I love Stephen King.
Nice.
And it's one of my favorite books. But I totally agree with you. I say it a dozen times an episode on the podcast. Nobody can get the second half of that right, because how do you visualize raw imagination? How? You can't. So you get a giant spider that looks like it's from them.
Yeah.
Right. Or a big goofy giant Pennywise running around.
Oh yeah, or you get the clown head from the CGI guy from the remake.
Yeah. And the first, I thought the new It, I thought the first half was great, but the second part I was not, for many reasons.
Yeah,
like in the TV series too. What was that, from the 80s? Late 80s?
91?
90s, yeah.
It was early 90s. But no, yeah, both second halves of both swings at it, really, they didn't quite get it right. And it's not entirely their fault. It's just they're up against something really impossible.
Yeah.
Jamie Hill, who will be on the show in a couple weeks from Skinamarink, says, "Nice. I want to see that podcast, Jason."
She's had some very wonderful things to say. Yeah.
And I love what you've done. Let them feel it for themselves. And she also brought this up, that budget. I guess that's a big part too. Is the budget when you're making an audio play is much different than a film.
It cost me about, I don't know, $100 a month, like licensing sound effects and stuff. I think that's it. Like, I think I've spent a grand total of $300, and
nice.
all the actors and actresses have donated their time. Like, they were just really cool about it. Like, let's just make this really scary thing and put it out there for free and see if people dig it, which is what we're all about, really. And it came from the 508. Like, we try to make it as fun, cheap, and things. We don't care about money. That's not what we're here for. We're here to bring hell and make horror.
Yeah. Exactly. Without your head is also not a money-making project. But when you spend money doing something you love and you feel fulfilled,
it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But no, this is minimal investment. Like, I can get away with having giant monsters and gunshots everywhere and zombie invasions, and that's all the things I can talk about so far, because those are the only episodes we have out. So
how often do they come out? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask.
It's going to be once a week, every Wednesday. Or if you join the Facebook group, you get it Tuesday night early, because that's what we do.
I like it.
Yeah.
Oh, Colleen has listened.
Yeah, Colleen.
I love Colleen. Hi, Colleen.
You wouldn't know it had a lower budget by listening to it.
Love you so much. Thank you.
We have great performers, and sometimes there will be a really good story, but whoever's narrating or something, I know that they're doing what they can, but it is hard to do that. It is hard to be a voice actor. That's really, really hard, because that's all you've got. You're not showing people. All you can do is speak, and when it doesn't hit, it really doesn't hit.
I gotta say though, all of my people, every single one of them in every episode, they absolutely destroyed their parts. Destroyed them.
So
they were incredible.
Yeah,
they were incredible.
Yeah.
I wish I could name them all. There's just so many people, but they really all are. I like, if you're watching and you make movies, hire them. Go look at the credits for the shows. Hire them. They're incredible. Most of them came in and knocked their part out in an hour.
Wow.
Or less. They came in understanding the assignment. Easiest directing gig I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was literally like, I was like, okay, you're gonna, and they're like, just let me give it a shot. I think I know what I want to do. And they would kill it in like a take.
Wow.
And I'm like, all right, man. Like, cool. Rad. That's fine. We're good.
Yeah, and Jeremy's doing a great job as a narrator.
Jeremy?
Who's Jeremy?
It's all me.
Isn't it? Oh, it's you. Yeah. I thought Aruda was on there.
No, Jeremy made that amazing title score.
So interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Well, you're nailing it as the
Jeremy's doing a lot of the scoring and the music. I was like, I'm not shocked because you thought it was Jeremy and not me. I'm shocked that you thought Jeremy would do that.
Well, that's very true. He's a very private. He doesn't like to talk
Yeah, I was like,
but that theme is so like, it's just perfect. It just puts you in the space. It like brings you in. It's story time, people. It's really perfect.
Me and Jeremy, we took a lot of time, like, because he made the logo, the umbrella, the white umbrella with the blood all over it. We took a lot of time to think about that, like, what headspace are we trying to put people in when they're listening to this? What kind of terror are we trying to invoke before they even heard a word? Like, what are we bracing them for? What are we disarming them for? And like, when we finally mapped it out, man, and I threw that in the first episode and I was listening to it back, I bounced it over to him. I was like, listen to this, dude. I think we got it. And we're just like, yes, this is it. He does. And Jeremy's always incredible. I mean, he does the most amazing work.
And there's a mystery to it as well. So it's horror, but there's a lot of mystery. Yeah. From what I've heard so far, the mystery is a big element. It's not just like people are dying. It's not. I won't give details, but it's not just like we're talking about people getting tortured or blown up or anything like that. There's a lot of mystery.
The best horror, and that's what we really strive for. It came from the 508. We're not trying to follow the latest trend. We're not trying to things, not to say something so lofty and pretentious as to say we're trying to be the best, but that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to release the scariest stuff people have seen, and I think we do a pretty good job of it. But that's the thing. It's like when you get a really, really, really great horror story, if you think about it, like, I'm even talking like, I'm going to go back to like the roots, like Dracula, Frankenstein, Varney the Vampire, which is actually an incredible old Penny Dreadful. There's always that hook that's leading you down the breadcrumb trail. Yeah. It's not just about the scary thing that's happening in the moment. It's like, what's going to happen next? Where is this leading? And when I was writing these stories and when I was bringing them into the audio play space, that was the most important thing to me. I was like, what's getting them to the next scene?
Yes.
What's bringing them down this rabbit hole with me?
I'll say the first one, I was like, honestly, to start, I was like, where is this going? Because I didn't know what to expect of the show. And I was like, where is exactly what you said? Where is this going? That's a breadcrumb trail. And the payoff was like, oh, I see what you did. Amazing.
Well, welcome the terrible Troy here, the blue beard.
Hello,
blue
everyone.
Jesus here. Yeah.
Yes,
hi, Troy.
Blue Jesus. How's it going?
Not bad. Going good.
Let's see. Psycon Film wants to know, do you all record the audio together?
No, absolutely not. That would be incredibly difficult with everyone's schedules. I mean, we work with some really great people, and I still make movies and they still make movies, and to get everybody lined up for one episode would be a night. I don't think we'd have episode 1 done right now.
Yeah.
It was basically get people in when they could, whether they're in the home studio with me doing it, or if we're doing it over a Zoom call and I'm just editing the crap out of the audio later. One way or another, it was just a matter of like, everybody get in, get it done. Like, some people were like doing different episodes in the same Zoom call. Like, it was pandemonium, but like, we got it. And yeah, it was pretty crazy. But no, we could not. There was no way we could record all of that all together.
Colleen says the score creeps me out anytime it plays.
Well, you can thank Jeremy. That's all Jeremy Aruda and his genius. I just said yes.
Billy Coyne, do you listen to the old radio dramas in the genre vein? Or did you listen?
Well, Billy Coyne, I'll give a shout out to, played Detective Haggerty in the first episode of called The Confession. No, Billy, I did not listen to old radio dramas. I think I threw War of the Worlds on once as a lesson of what not to do. I'm not trying to take a swipe at Orson Welles, but if you actually
don't want people jumping out buildings.
Yeah, no, it's not just not needing people to jump off buildings, but like, if you listen to Orson Welles' delivery of that, like I get why it was scary at the moment, but like try to listen to that all the way through now. Go through like all 3 hours of that audio. You're just gonna be like, it is not a page turner. It's not. No.
Well, I think that's probably why it worked then, because people thought it was, why people thought it was real. But you couldn't, if you did that today, I mean, the odds of people actually thinking it's real are, going to be
slim to none.
Yeah.
And it's a modern audience. You can't be that monosyllabic. Yeah. You got to be a little more kinetic with your delivery, and you got to be a little more deliberate and a little more sinister.
Well, it's like you. I mean, the Three Stooges were beloved, but if you did that today, people would be like, "What are you? You're just a couple idiots or something." But,
did you fall? Is your head okay? Do you have a concussion? Like, yeah.
Call the police. This guy's cutting him with a saw or something. So 6 episodes. Is that how you planned it, or So I assume you wrote them all out before you even started to record them?
Oh, I have. Like I said, I had a ton of stuff from the pandemic that I wrote that I just kind of adapted. I went through all of it and I picked out 6 that I thought were different enough to keep the whole thing interesting while similar enough for me to pull my big arc over the whole thing. And 6 was the intent because time constraints are a thing. With this, I've got other film we're working on the feature. I've got other film projects, stuff that I haven't even announced yet. So time was a big thing working against me for getting all of this done. And so I was like, I'll do 6. Let's see how it goes. If it goes well, we'll do a season 2. We'll go from there. And I mean, well, it's doing well, so I guess now I got to keep doing it. So yeah, but no, 6 was the intention. 6 was intended from the beginning.
When you say season, like, so when, not to get ahead of yourself, but when would potentially the next season be?
Realistically, I would picture that probably coming about somewhere between Christmas time and President's Day of 2024. That's just with what we have lined up right now. That makes the most sense. Mostly because I got to pick another bunch of stories and then adapt them, and I already have the overarching plan for season 2. It's just a matter of getting it all to line up again and then getting everybody back into the studio again, and it becomes a whole process all over again. It's going to take me a couple of months to get that all done, so by the time I wrap up con season through Halloween and all that stuff, it's going to take me a couple of months. So Christmas, somewhere around there would be the best time to think that we get a season 2.
Colleen, the first story is definitely very Twilight Zone feeling because it has that open mystery to it. It's a lot of fun.
Twilight Zone was a huge inspiration, really. I can't understate that influence at all. Between having the introductions, with the narrator speaking to the audience directly before the actual story begins, and everything in between. I wanted that Twilight Zone feel. I won't even try to pretend that isn't an inspiration. That's everything. That's the root of the basis of what I was going for.
Billy brought up the Inner Sanctum.
Not a direct influence, but I can see the comparison for sure. I can't say that it directly influenced me, but it's definitely something that would be a parallel to what we're doing for sure.
So it came from the 508 for people who don't know. What could people see from that besides Beneath the Red Umbrella?
Oh, besides Beneath the Red Umbrella. Well, we've got
in addition to
the Beneath the Red Umbrella, if you go on our website, it came from 508.com, you're gonna find this little button that says it came from the 508 Direct, right? Mm-hmm. And you're gonna find a absolute cavalcade of digital only horror movies that we made that you can watch either for free or completely dirt cheap. Rentals are $1. It's digitally purchased for $5. And that's only for the big boys. That's for One Last Kill of the Box and Strawberry Lane. Everything else on the site is free. Nice. My third movie, Bro, is free up there. Jeremy has I mean, he's always going wild with like the little shorts and stuff, and we just throw everything up there. So he's got all his stuff. I think we have the Nurturing from Alex DiVincenzo up there. If you guys want to check that out, it's incredible. We have live scores. All of Jeremy's scoring from the films is up for grabs up there that you can just like download. I don't even think those are stream only. You can download those. You can have a ball of them. There's also a store. If you guys like the physical stuff, we sell the bigger movies on Blu-ray. We have T-shirts on TeePublic, just like this guy.
Yeah, no, I really like the shirt.
Thank you.
I would definitely wear that. Yeah.
I did. We have several
I was
designs.
checking that out myself. I'm liking that.
Yeah, we have several designs of the logo up on TeePublic, but this is my favorite.
Yeah, I like that myself.
It's very evocative. I wanted the old school like 80s 3D movie feel.
Yep.
So it's like a super oversaturated red on black and then on the blue t-shirt. I was thinking I wanted it to feel like Jaws 3D, Friday the 13th 3D, like that kind of just like if you don't have the 3D glasses on and you're watching it and it's all that's where we're going. And then we have Jeremy's division. He's got the black and white shirt, and then we've got the original logo with the monster green and all that stuff.
Yeah, you may see one pop up here on the show here in the future. I think I like the one you're wearing.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, man.
You're from this area, WLVI TV 58.
Yeah.
That gives me that kind of like that could have come from that time.
Creature double feature, man. Yeah. Every Saturday.
Yeah. Damn right.
LVI is part of
watching Godzilla fight with Gamera and Peter Cushing grabbing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Broken wheels through Christopher Lee's chest when I was like 6. Yeah.
It is weird though. Like if I was a kid and people at that time and people told me like in the future you'd be able to watch all this stuff at any time you want, like plus loads and loads, you think oh this is great, but really I think you appreciated it more then because now you can just go and watch. There's so much that you almost think like I don't even know what to watch right now.
You get operation paralysis, man. You're just looking at like you flick through all your channels and the streaming, and then you look at if you're like me, you look at the wall of Blu-rays they have over with all the horror stuff, and you're just like,
yeah. Then an hour and a half goes by as you're checking out all that stuff.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, now I'm tired. Like, no, I get it. I mean, that's why like with our stuff, we try to keep it as simple as we can. Like I don't know, it's hard.
I like all your stuff. I really became familiar with it during Severed Limbs, and then I checked out more of it, and to me it was real standout stuff, and I loved it right away.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Strawberry Lane so stands out. I don't make it to every Severed Limbs, but that I will not forget that. It was
Jeremy. Man, we were in the trenches on that one for a long time. I probably jumped on that as like producer distributor maybe a year and a half, 2 years into the process. But there was so much. He's a really detail oriented guy. He's brilliant, but very, very, very detail oriented, and just getting it ready for release and getting it. It was a process. It was interesting, and I mean, I've done most of the Q because Jeremy's not the guy to go to festivals or do that. I go and face the music with the Q&As on that, and that's always been an entertaining time. Well, I mean, we've gotten a lot of guff for One Last Kill too, so I'm used to it. But,
that's part of doing what you do. I mean, you're not making fluffy things. You're making horror does push people's buttons.
No, good horror pushes people's buttons. If you're making safe horror, that's cool. I get it. Like you're making stuff that's like easily digestible and like fun. That's not us though. We'd be really disingenuous if we were just out there making like your run-of-the-mill slasher movie or something like that. That's not us. That's not us. We like to take a mirror, hold it up to the screen and say, do you like what you see? That's our gig. That's what we do. And you know what? I mean, we get a lot of people love it, a lot of people don't, and that's cool. That's part of the gamble.
Art's supposed to evoke emotion, and that doesn't always mean positive emotions.
No. I mean, I think Strawberry Lane's a brilliant movie, but who walks away from something like Strawberry Lane or The Box or One Last Kill and says, I'm happy right now.
Probably people you don't want to, really
Yeah,
hang
watch
out
out
with.
for that person.
Yeah,
I
no.
think.
If somebody's walking out of one of our movies with a smile on their face, that is your serial killer. That is the
Yeah.
dude that's doing this in real life. Like, watch out for him
That-
because he's got problems.
I'm not sure who this is. This comes up on Facebook user. It's your favorite succubus. Thanks for letting me a part of this. It was definitely an experience.
That is Chandra, who performs in the 6th episode. What did you ask nicely? She's incredible. Thank you so much, Chandra. Do not thank me. Thank you. Thank you for giving me your time and your talent and being so incredible. It's been a ride, and I'm so glad that you're on it with us.
And I also don't know who this is. I'm kind of afraid to put up, but great work. I've already spanked it 5 times in a new 508.
Nice.
It might have been Troy. I'm not sure. But
Oh, you go at me.
that's why he
Honestly,
was a little late.
with all the freaks of nature that follow us, I don't know.
That doesn't narrow it down at all.
That did not narrow it down at all. At all.
The T-shirt goes with your beard. I think it might go with Troy's beard.
Troy's beard.
It jives.
Oh, that's true. We got the bottom blue. We're good.
Yeah, it jives. It works. I love the box. That's when I had you on my show. Would love to have you again.
That's Gail Allison Rudolph.
Oh, okay. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
About the kind of people you draw in with your work, I think that you can, and you were kind of already getting at this, having more broad appeal horror. Like, that's nice to have a lot of people be supportive and be, good job. That's a nice feeling. But when you connect with people, if you're putting something out there that's really taking a chance and you connect with people over that, I think there's so much more value to that kind of connection.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And like, this isn't so much about Red Umbrella, at least not yet. This is still fresh, but the box, like, we did a crazy amount of promotion for the box, like conventions, festivals, like all this stuff. And a bunch of people came up to me and like that got it, and they were like, "This was about grief, wasn't it?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "Yes, it absolutely was. It was about parents losing a child. That was the ultimate. It was about letting go and the dangers of not letting go. That's what the movie is really about." And the people that got it were like, "Wow, that really friggin' moved me." Even though the movie ends absolutely horribly,
Yep.
They still like walked away from it like, "I get it. I've seen that happen." I'm like, "Yeah, so have I. It sucks."
Yeah.
So yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and that's what we live for, man. That is what we live for. When people come up to us at conventions or festivals or whatever, and they've seen our stuff, and they're like, "I really connected with this. This really made sense to me." And they're calling what it's about before you get it out of your mouth. And they're like, "I had a brother that struggled with this. I had for one last kill, I had a brother that struggled with addiction. I have my mom, we lost my brother. And I get it. This is what my mom was like for the box." And like Strawberry Lane, people are like, "I've wanted to cross dress and through a corpse." And I'm like, "Okay, wait, we'll slow down. I can't sympathize with that, but all right."
This is not the connection I was
This is not the emotional connection we were looking for.
Sometimes you inspire people in ways you don't expect.
Yeah. That's why I included on the first Severed Limbs.
Yeah, I'm glad. That's why I'm glad it spoke to you, man. Even though you shouldn't have a corpse and you shouldn't be doing that to it. But
that's your
remember this, Neil. She's talking to you directly on that.
Necro Neil.
Yep.
Yeah. He's thinking about making the change from Nasty Neil to Necro Neil.
It's been suggested.
I accept everybody's.
Fair enough.
Persuasion.
Sure.
Let's see. I think this is Anthony. He says, "What's been more difficult, directing movies or directing his audio drama?" And if that's a weird question, I would just know the differences, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's not. I wouldn't say it's been more difficult one way or the other, because I would say that the challenges become different. Right? Okay, so like, say I'm directing a scene in a movie. All my actors are in front of me. Yeah, we have to worry about more things, like where cues are, where our placements are, where your marks are, where you're going to say what and how the camera is going to react to it. That's challenging, sure.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's put that in the audio drama space. Yeah, I don't have to worry about the camera. I don't have to worry about marks. I don't have to worry about anything. But since nobody's recording in the same time in the same room, I have to remember what inflection somebody had in their take from this thing 3 weeks ago while directing somebody in this other episode for the same episode things, because that's how it got scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same kind of challenge? No. Is it a challenge? Yeah. Yeah. I found myself like getting prepped, having to prep for recording people, like listening back to everybody's. It's like, okay, that's how we played it there. That's how we played it here. And I was like even directing myself in the recordings. I'm like, okay, now James, remember when you go to record this person, this is what we're going for. And I'm just like, it was wild. It was crazy. It was like doing like 9 things at once almost.
Do you do several takes in and see which works best, or?
Usually, even if I get a good take, I'm always going to ask people for a second or a third take. Even if I'm really happy with the first one, I'm trying to find if there's something else we can get from something, or if there's like more than one way I want to take it, because I'm not sure. When you're editing it, you might go, oh, this would have sounded cool if, we did it this way or that way. So, yeah, I usually shoot for like 3 takes if people are really killing it. If somebody's struggling with something, obviously you could go further than that.
Yeah.
Gail, do you think audio dramas are still going to be out there in 10 years?
You think audio dramas are still going to be out there?
Been out here for over 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been going since at least horror audio dramas have been going since radio was invented and mass produced, and AM radio became a regular connected thing. I mean, we're talking like, you think about like Flash Gordon. That's over 100 years old now. Wow. I mean, this stuff, I don't think any medium of entertainment ever truly dies. I think it evolves into something else.
Mm-hmm.
Radio became internet radio, became podcasting, became whatever's next. Maybe we're doing it in hologram in front of people.
Right. Well, honestly, became kind of video. Because podcast was
YouTube.
Yeah.
All of these things have an extended life.
And live streaming is almost different than podcasting, because a lot of people do live streaming where it's not necessarily a podcast like a show. It's just they're just on for hours, just talking with their buddies.
Yeah, there's just so many variations in that evolution already. And now all of our radio, quote unquote, has been specialized, so you don't have to sit through hours of like radio hosts talking if you want to go listen to your dad rock music, or vice versa. If you want to just get 2 crazy people talking about whatever, you don't have to listen to any music in between. Like, we can pick and choose our poisons these days.
It's funny you say this, because when I first started putting, because originally Without Your Head was all audio. And so I started to put the interviews on YouTube just for another way to people to listen. And some of that stuff wouldn't be allowed to be monetized because it was like a picture and it was just audio. And then later they started to get a little more lenient with that. And now they've really gone full circle where podcasts are actually an official part of YouTube. And I actually just got the email today where they launched YouTube Music, and your podcast Without Your Head and other people's podcasts will be part of that. So they've really embraced and also they've embraced vertical video, which used to people would make fun of you if you did that. You like, oh, you don't know how to turn your phone, but now that's like the preferred method on a lot of these things.
I want to go back to what Gail was saying, though. I think part of what she's saying, you would not have made this without COVID, right? COVID brought out stuff. Were these things around? Sure, but I didn't know anybody. I wasn't listening. So I think there are things that can happen historically that re-inspire us to take things that were there and then make them new. So that was something my grandmother was listening to, The Shadow.
Yeah,
cool. And then that kind of, because I think people did get caught up in the visual media and listening to something. It existed, but all the stuff that came out, partially because people had the time, but also people were doing it because it was something out there that was accessible. And I think we were reminded of the value of bringing your own imagination into the scenario.
I fully agree. I think if COVID hadn't actually happened, I know exactly what would have happened. We would have made the movie we were supposed to make before Charlie Baker shut the whole state down. Nothing would have changed, and I'd probably be on movie 5 by now, but I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing that could have happened. I mean, I don't know. That's not the future I got. I'm living the future I got, and I'm really happy that I was able to, in hindsight, it's 2020, and the time I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, I just had this whole film blow up in front of my face. Damn it. But now, looking back on it, now I came up with it Beneath the Red Umbrella, and people love it so as much as they have, and I'm just like, maybe this was the cosmic rhythm. This is what was supposed to happen. So I'll take it.
In what evil lurks in the heart of man, or who knows?
I love
Shadow
the show.
knows. Yeah.
I do.
Something else Gail said that I think a lot of people out there are going to be like, oh, can I do it? Can I be there? I don't know if, exactly. So I don't know if people might underestimate what it takes to be a voice actor.
Here's the thing. When I casted this thing, I had very specific people in mind for very specific characters that even if they did not have the experience of voice acting, because it's not an easy gig to get into. Not a lot of people, well, I'll put it to you this way. The people that do have a lot of voice acting experience, I can't afford. And so what I did was I very specifically sought out people that I thought either had the character that I was looking for in them, or I saw something in them that I could bring out. Now I've had a lot of people, and as a film director, you hear that, especially a horror film director, you hear that old line that people say all the time. Oh, I could just be a dead body in your movie. Could you though? Could you? I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I'm gonna pop that bubble for you. Being a dead body in a movie and being a voice actor is very hard. Yeah. They're very difficult. It's not what you think it is. And just because my guys made it easy, it's because they're insanely talented, insanely good at it. If it's not something you've ever approached before or practiced, I don't know. It's not, I mean, you might wow somebody and you might say, holy crap, like, yeah, you might be a shoo-in for this because you have crazy talent, but at the same time, this is a craft. It's something you have to practice. It's something you have to really commit to. And just like any other art form, the more you do it, the better you'll be. I guess that's the best answer I could give anybody that's trying to bust into whether you're doing films or audio drama or any kind of theatrical performance in any way, shape, or form. The more practice you do, the better you will be. And if you think you can just walk onto a movie set and do anything you want, I got bad news. It's bad news bears time, man. It's not going to happen.
Well, like here I am on the show where I'm using my voice. I wouldn't ever be like, I'm not saying anyone out there is saying this at all. I'm just saying, like, generally speaking, I wouldn't be the first to volunteer. If someone paid me, I would feel very uncomfortable because I know that's not my skill set. I had years ago, another podcaster was doing a Halloween series and asked people to do like their little audio thing, like read a story. And so I tried and it was awkward. I don't know what it sounds like to other people, but I felt very awkward. And listening back, like I tried my ass off, but I'm not an actor. I'm not. And
it's a difficult skill set. It's in narrating Beneath the Red Umbrella. It's a skill set that I wasn't entirely sure I had at the start. It was something that I developed on the fly. Like the first episode, truly, the first, I won't even try to explain to you how many takes of the first episode I did before I had what I thought was, I was like, okay, this is going to work. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was like a week nonstop of doing that one story where I was just hammering it, getting the cadence, getting the rhythm. And there is a real rhythm to narrating a story that you just have to have, and you have to understand it, and that's hard. It's really hard. And I didn't think I was about to outsource it. I was about to be like, yo, can somebody do this? Because I don't know if I can.
Yeah.
And then finally, like at the 11th hour, I was like, I kind of just twisted my vocal cords this one certain way. I went, oh, hold up. Hold on. And then I literally, over one weekend, I banged out all the narration in one weekend.
Wow.
Because I just found that voice, and I was like, all right, here we go. And,
yeah. Did you
but
do
no,
them in order? Yeah. Did you do them in order?
I did them in order.
Yes.
Everybody else was a hodgepodge of absolute insanity, but I did them in order.
Do you feel like doing them in order, do you think you changed from beginning to the last one?
I'll let you in on a little secret. Yes, and it's deliberate.
Aha, interesting. So something people can pay attention to.
There's a lot that people should pay attention to in the show. There's already 2 Easter eggs. 2 Easter eggs that have been dropped in the first 2 episodes that would give you a hint that something bigger is afoot. All I will say to the people out there that listen to the episodes, if you want to go back and listen to them again to kind of get a vibe, is like, it's all about the time. It's about time.
All right, I'm intrigued now.
Colleen, have you ever thought of doing any audio readings live?
No. That would be absolute unbridled chaos. No way. No way. My guys, my girls, me, hell no. We would not be able to keep a straight face for that whole thing. That would have so many breaks of character in it. That would have so many in jokes, so much dirty innuendo, so much madness. It just, that wouldn't work. I would love to try live reading, like something intentionally made for a live reading, but like a Beneath the Red Umbrella episode, hell no. That would be a disaster.
Plus, I assume the score would be weird, and
yeah, no, that's the other thing. Like you couldn't score it out. Like scoring it out would be like I'd be sitting here with my mixing board, like I wouldn't be able to narrate. I'd be like, oh god, she changed her pace. I don't know. It would be nuts. I don't know if that could work.
So once all 6 episodes are done, are they gonna stay like the way they are, or would you ever put them together where people could just listen to it as one block?
Me and the core team have talked about what to do with Beneath the Red Umbrella once the season is done. Right now I am perfectly, because I feel like this is something, and this is the really cool thing about this, where a lot of audio storytelling podcasts are just nonstop, right? Every week you're gonna get a guy reading a story. Maybe it's something he wrote, maybe it's something he found on the internet, who knows. And it's about getting the content out, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly understandable. If that's your gig, like awesome. But I wanted a deliberate end to Beneath the Red Umbrella. I wanted someone, because I want this to be something that people can find and their friends suggest it to them. And you go, look, just go listen to the whole thing. It's going to take you like an hour and a half, 2 hours tops. And I wanted it to be a whole piece. I wanted everybody to understand that it was a whole piece and appreciate it as a whole piece of work. Before we move into like a season 2 or something like that. So in the long run, like if we do something like a more collection based thing, I would actually like to put it out as some kind of printed.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great.
Like an audio play collection of all of the first season or something like that. I think that would be really cool for the fans of the show to have, like, something they can actually get in their hand rather than just listening to the show and telling, running down a hill going, this is awesome.
Right.
You can show it to people and go, look, you can read it like this too. Like, I think that would be neat, and it's something I've looked into, but I can't guarantee anything just yet.
I was where I was going to go. You were talking about having like an end, and the way I'm not going to name this podcast. I do enjoy it. It's still going, but it feels like they ran out of ideas, but no, people still want to listen. And so they'll drag it out or have like a show that it's too long for what it is, and you kind of just hear the narrator, who's a character, just take up space. And so I'm just starving for them to bring in other elements. But I think one of the people probably was available during COVID, and then COVID ended, and now that voice actor is gone. And I feel like some of them, it takes stuff from the audience might contribute ideas, and then trying, like, that's cool. That would probably be very fun to work that into your collaboration, but it feels like desperation all around to carry on the story. And as a listener who so badly wants it to be resurrected, it's just kind of, it's not a good feeling. I see something released and then it's something about a totally different show, and I'm just like, please don't do that.
No, I mean that kind of mentality, it really goes against our entire modus operandi as creators.
Mm-hmm.
If we were just to do something that was just week after week after week, like the same thing, you're just dragging it for the sake of having the content out there. I couldn't do that. That would just, I would rather rake my eyes out than ever do something that monotonous.
Yeah.
Beneath the Red Umbrella is going to go for as long as it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at it and go, oh, okay, I think we're out of ideas here. Mm-hmm. It's over. That's it. I'm going to go, this is done.
And you can have a story arc and then suddenly drop it, because there's another one that was 3 seasons of beautiful storytelling. And then we were all abandoned because there was so many loose ends that seemed so beautiful and rich. It's another one I won't. It's a different one, and I'm just crushed. Like it was basically just okay. Well, we're going to run away together. What? What? Okay.
Rule number one, as a writer, not as a horror writer, not as a writer of fiction, everything you set up has to pay off. Everything. Every single thing. You cannot leave a loose end on the board. Another reason that Beneath the Red Umbrella has a very finite arc for the first season. It needed to end and tie up and have everybody, because there's a very big moment at the end of this whole thing that sets the stage for a season 2. I'm not going to say anything more than that. And I know everybody watching this right now is going to DM the hell out of me later for some kind of answer. You're not getting one. The cast doesn't know. Don't bother them. I purposely wrote 2 versions of each story. Their version and then my version that had all of the extra stuff in it that they didn't know about when they did their acting. They don't know.
Interesting.
Nobody knows. Only I know. So leave them alone.
And like you said, that's a very deliberate thing. It's not like you think, I'll figure it out later. You've got like a plan.
There was, I won't say that the plan was always there. I just said, I want to do this audio podcast where taking these stories that I wrote. But as I started to like work it out, I was like, well, what if this had this and this had this? And what if this was this? And it all kind of came together, and I created the Red Umbrella. And that's a very central piece of it all. And yeah, it's not just a cute name, kids. Beneath the Red Umbrella matters.
Well, so when like the second season stuff, it's still going to be Beneath the Red Umbrella, but will they have like subtitles?
No, I'm going to stick with that being the name, and then all of our episodes are still going to be chapters. So the next season will just start at chapter 1 again, you know, and then with the next story. I want to keep it as much like a living book as I possibly can. So the next season will still be called Beneath the Red Umbrella, but we'll go back to chapter 1 and go on from there.
That beard is full of secrets.
Gunslinger series, all Gunslinger books, but each Gunslinger book has chapters in them.
Bingo. Again, dark.
Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower is a massive inspiration on me, period. Not just for Beneath the Red Umbrella, but for everything.
Yeah.
The way King wove all of his fiction together. It's just, I mean, it's still just the greatest feat of a shared universe anybody's ever pulled off. You can come at me if you're a
Anytime you
Marvel.
go back
Marvel
to
fan.
some book, you find other things, and you're like, "Holy shit! I didn't realize that."
He had a plan back at Kerry.
Yep.
For this all. So, like, yeah, even if you're a Marvel fan, don't come at me unless you've read The Dark Tower and you understand what I'm talking about. Because, no, greatest shared universe anyone ever came up with, period.
The last few years since I started walking lots, I listened to my audiobooks, and I've been flying through the King novels I never read, and it is very fun to see them, how they all connect. And they also connect with his son's universe, which is very
cool. Yeah.
Joe Hill's an incredible writer in his own right.
Yeah.
Heart-Shaped Box.
The other one.
Yeah. Heart-Shaped Box is one of the scariest books.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I love that
recently.
book.
It's incredible.
The Fireman's real good too. I like that one a ton.
Big fan of the Fireman.
But Owen King does some good stuff too. We're getting a little wrestling in here now.
I love Sleeping Beauties. The one
that one's so
Dad.
good.
It was a great book.
His new one's good too. I can't think of the name of it. Little bit science fiction, little bit horror. It's real good.
Yeah.
I'll have to investigate.
So
he's the youngest brother, I guess.
Yeah.
Where can people go to find Beneath the Red Umbrella?
Oh God. I guess the three big mammoth jams would be Spotify, iHeartRadio, and if you want to just go straight to itcamefromthe508.com, it's just screaming right on the front page of the website, like nice and convenient for you. And if you dig that, you can go check out whatever else you want on the site while you're there. But yeah, that's the three best ones. I mean, it's literally all over the place. Like every podcast channel on earth has it. Yeah. But I feel like those are the iHeartRadio and Spotify are the two that pretty much everyone on the planet uses at one point or another.
Right.
So no Apple Podcasts. That I apologize for. I refuse to support Apple. My bad.
All right. So we're going to be bringing in some folks here for the Nexus, but we're going to overlap a little bit. I believe that's good with everyone. I've already asked.
Are we going to be overlapping with a beautiful break featuring the music of Tim Fife so I can eat the
No, we are not, because I told you earlier I only had time for one to put together one music break. I mean, it's just the end credits for everything.
Oh, at the end.
Yes. But we're going to bring in these fine folks, and we'll interact with James a little bit here. But we'll have a break.
To play well with others.
Exactly.
Hi. I know these guys.
Hello. Hello.
Familiar.
Hi.
All of them.
Oh. Wow. It is. Wow, it's more and more people.
Swarmed now.
We're taking over. This is cool here.
So we do want to thank James, and everyone should check it out Beneath the Red Umbrella and everything from It Came from the 508.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think these people might be 617 or 774. I don't know. But
I'm 508. What are you?
I'm 516. Oh. Completely gone from.
Oh, I didn't actually even see you there.
You didn't see me?
No. I was wondering where you were, but now I see that because I was told you'd be on as well. So.
He lurks in the shadows.
I lurk in the shadows. Yeah. This is my
that's an
Garrett
attire.
Yeah, this is a very New England, Massachusetts show. We've got creators from all around here. So James, you can stick around if you like, or you can take off. But thanks for being on the show.
I'm happy to be here just for a little while.
Yeah, stick around.
Stick around.
Excellent.
I might know these guys a little bit.
Just a little.
Might be familiar.
All right, so we got the fine people here from Sins of the Devil of Gary.
That's me.
Walter.
Hey.
Matthew.
Hey.
Amber.
Hi.
And Adam. They have last names too.
Adam just left.
Adam is more mysterious than in the shadows.
Adam disappeared.
That's all right. I'd disappear too if I was on with me. Yes. So one of you, or many of you, can tell us what can we expect from Sins of the Devil.
What are you pointing at me for?
You're the
It's actually a story that me and a buddy wrote back in like 2011, I think we came up with the idea, and it kind of just went on the shelf for while we made Plug a Zombie, and we kind of dusted it off because we wanted something small. Can you hear me? Okay, or am I getting an echo?
I'm getting a little echo now.
Who's getting
Nope.
Oh, it's funky. Hello? Maybe I was too close to this.
Oh, well, there's 2 Adams now. I wonder if there was an Adam overlap.
Whoa, that's kind of cool.
I think we're good now. Yeah.
Are we good now?
It looked like the Brady Bunch for a second.
Can you hear us okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we wanted something small with like a small crew, small cast, just a few locations, but a great story that we can tell. So we wanted to, and this was the perfect movie for us. So we decided to go with it because we did have like a slasher film we were going to do at the Factory of Terror, but it ended up becoming too big. The cast got a little too big, and it was going to involve a lot of effects. So we're like, well, let's do something small for us because we just came off of Plague a Zombie, and I was like, I need something simple. Yeah. So we went with this one.
And it's nice to see that James actually helped contribute, because I like to see creators, help each other out, especially people from the same area.
Yeah, James could also come and be participant in the movie as well. Like we always try to help each other somehow. I mean, I'm not from New England, but I'm from New York, but
Yeah, so you can't invite him if you're not from New England.
I'm 5 feet from Barry. So.
Yeah, we actually had we did like a mutual Plague a Zombie, and we showed the box and a couple of James's shorts.
Yeah.
We
did that. It was a few years ago.
I see
around Christmas time.
Yep.
Jeremy Labrie is on the side, desiring to join.
Jeremy,
yay! We got a lot of people.
He's over there. I don't know. Do you have a max? Nasty Neil?
Well, there is a max, but I think it's like 10. So if if they want him involved too, I mean, I
no, leave him out.
He said, "Can I get on?" No.
Yeah.
Can I get on?
No, let him sit in there.
You are not welcome here.
Of course, we want Jeremy here. Yes, we love Jeremy.
All right, so I will, or someone can send him the link, or I'll send the link.
Did he know?
I have him on here. It's a very professionally run show here.
I told him like 20 times already how to get to the link.
I got it.
Oh,
so,
boy.
Where is he?
While I'm doing that, Matthew, how did you get involved, and what's your character? You don't have to give too much away.
Actually, I had nothing to do with it until Gary came up to me and said, "We got this project. Can you grow a beard?"
Well, that's and you can grow a beard, so you were all set. You're perfect.
I was like, "Sure."
Good thing they didn't ask Amber that. She might not have.
Not yet.
Probably find a fake beard, but it's not going to be the same.
Oh hell no!
And Amber, can you tell us a little bit about your character?
She seems interesting. I don't know how much I can really give away, but she seems very nuanced from what I've read of the script, and I'm pretty pumped about it.
I'm very excited. I like all the pictures. It's cool to see everyone in character. It had me excited right away, interested. And Walter, can you tell us a little bit of how you? Well, I assume you got involved because you're in. All of you were in Plague of Zombies, but can you tell us a little bit about your character?
Gary needed a crazy motherfucker in the movie, and he said, "Hey, you want to be that guy?" I said, "Yeah." I got the tattoos. I bought this like little ensemble where we're gonna play like a sort of like hillbilly type Texan. I don't know if I could do an accent, but it's sort of like that. And we're basically like sinister, evil people.
Yeah.
You misunderstood.
Yeah, I'm misunderstood, but we're very violent. And,
That's the best villain, so they think they're in the right.
So Amber's character is kind of like my sidekick in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I see a black cat went by behind Amber.
Yeah.
The movie, actually, I can say it's about two families. So it's the cult is one of the families, and then there's a young crowd of friends. That's the other family. So the story will be telling the two viewpoints of both the cult and the friends. So, and then you find out. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for the audience who doesn't know, what? Okay, we've got two families, but what can you give the audience so that they kind of have a clue about what they're gonna help you with?
First, do you want to introduce
Adam?
I think we
yes, definitely.
Adam P. Cray.
Hi, nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you. You're the one I've never talked to before.
No, first time. I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here. Yeah, I'm out here in Los Angeles. I'm actually surrounded by moving boxes right now.
Really? How did you get involved your way across the country?
Well, I'm originally from Massachusetts, from the same area as Gary. And Gary and I have been online friends for, I don't know, 10 years or so. And I saw Plaga Zombie, and it just looked like everyone was having a blast making it. I mean, I had a blast watching it, and it looked like a lot of fun. So Gary and I put together a short very quickly, and I got a chance to work with him, and just the two of us, really. And I said, "Oh yeah, I'd love to work with you on something." So he says, "Oh, I have a script." And that was it.
I dusted it off.
It off. Yeah.
There we go.
So going back to Annabelle's question, it's about a satanic cult that's in search of a specific individual, and there's like a home invasion involved. A lot of violence, a lot of madness.
Yeah, you find out what's the connection between the cult and this certain person. So at first you don't really know why did they go there, why are they stalking her, and then it's revealed slowly through.
And Adam's character is basically the ringleader. He's the Reverend. Reverend England.
Yeah. The mastermind.
Yes.
So Gary, what made Adam write for you for the Reverend?
Basically, I think how we ended up getting the role was we did that short at us. Actually, I just showed up. We were just going to play around with the camera, and he was like, "Oh, let's shoot something." I was like, "All right, why not?" So we did this really quick 5-minute short, and we worked well together. And he just has kind of like this this cool collective side to him, but also a very sinister side.
Evil.
I thought he would be perfect for it.
Yeah. We still have to basically we have auditions going on this weekend because we need to find our other players. So right now it's only Amber, Matt, Adam, and John and Chris. So we need
one more. So
one more.
They're the Devil Six is what we call them.
And then we need the actresses to play the younger people and actors to play the younger.
So people, sorry to interrupt you, but people watching now, if they were interested in trying out for that, how would they go about doing that?
We're going to be holding auditions in your theater. That's in New Bedford on Rivet Street. You probably Google it and find it. But we're starting at 2:00, and we're looking for anyone who can play an 18 to under 20-year-old. So if you're 50,
I am out of that.
Sorry, Neil.
I got this.
And basically, we're looking for one more cult member, so that could be you.
If you can dress up, we put a dress on you, because we don't know what he or she is.
Now we're talking. All right.
I thought this was just for fun. You meant for the movie.
And also, Chris Kelly is the writer. He couldn't make it today. He's the one that he went back in and polished the script up for us, and got it to where it is now, which I think is a really good, solid place. And I think Jeremy's saying he's can't get on, or he's waiting.
I sent him the link, but actually, as far as I can see, he's not read the message, so I don't know.
But, you sent it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
Jeremy, contribute in the comments before. Just keep up with us. We'll be paying attention.
He does. He says Stanley is cast as well.
Oh, there he is. Stanley, go to Sins of the Devil chat and hit the link.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Just click on it. Stanley. So a lot of these names that we chose for the movie, like Larry, Chrissy, Janet.
Giving away too much, goddammit.
Sitcom fans. Well, I won't say anything.
I'll just say there's Roper's Liquors.
Well, that's
I'm
interesting
Mr.
because
Garrett.
I was
No.
wondering
That's who I
about the tone of the movie. Is it
I guess I'm
a serious horror movie? Is it a comedy horror?
No, it's a serious.
Yeah, it will be serious. It's not going to be goofy like the Plague of Zombies. We're going to go for a really serious tone.
We may do some goofy stuff to get the money, but like today, I put up a meme. He put my face on a hooker's body and saying, "Please get me off the streets and donate some money." But because it's hard. Like it's hard to get the money for these movies, and we have a lot of passion for them. So we made Plague of Zombie with a lot of heart. So we want to do the same thing with this. So.
And the change we found in the sofa.
Yeah, found change anywhere. But we appreciate this because this actually helps us a big time. And
I'm a huge fan of Plague of Zombies. I had you guys on a couple times for it. Not just because you're here, but it's a really fun movie. And you could someone mentioned you could tell, like I think Adam mentioned, you could tell you guys were having fun making it, which I think really comes through when you watch it.
Yeah, we became kind of like a little family, Yeah. And that's what I love, and meeting people like James, other people that are like passionate, and not just passionate, but willing to like share other people's, projects instead of their own. It's like that's what we should have here is like a community that's here for each other.
Community.
There's no this ain't Hollywood. There's no stars. There's no nothing. The word. If there's such a thing as a blue collar filmmaker, this is it. And I'll support anybody that comes out. It just so happens, Gary Sweeten's the pot. We're friends. That helps a little that much.
Yeah.
But no, everybody that's involved in our community, I support everybody. Because it's hard. I know all too well how hard it is. It's freaking hard to get an independent movie made.
Yeah.
Part of that being money, which I do. I'm just putting a pause on my little bookmark on going into the money. But now we have Jeremy before going into.
Yay!
Hi, Stanley.
Stanley.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hey, how's everybody going?
Very good. How are you doing? And can you tell us how you got involved, Jeremy?
Good.
I got a good.
Oh,
I got a lot of noise going on here. I don't know. I think I got like 2 streams going on at once.
Oh, you're probably playing the show in the background from when you were watching it. Just close that out.
Close the YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
While Jeremy's doing that, Amber, they were talking about a community, and so you didn't have a giant role in Plague of Zombies, so it looks like you have a much bigger part in the new film.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it.
So, have you had a chance to play many villains?
No.
I should say it's a villain or not.
Not really, but like, it comes easier to me. I think I have the face for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my RBF is very strong, so kind of works.
Fair enough. Jeremy, are you with us now? Can you hear us?
Right, here we go.
All right, very good.
All right.
Very good. So how did you get involved, and can you tell us anything about Stanley?
Well, I was involved with them in Plague of Zombie, right, pretty much from the get-go. So we've always been collaborating together, and they came to me and said, we're going to try something new. I said, all right, whatever you guys want to do, I'm on board. I'm always on board. We're like brothers. We have our differences and stuff, but I love those guys. And then I got to read the script, and I was like, holy crap, this is good. This is really good.
You sound shocked, Jeremy.
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say anything. You're like, are you sure these guys wrote this?
No, I was
Chris is an excellent writer.
No, but I was really impressed with the script, and I'm like, I'm definitely on board. I'll do whatever I can. I would have backed them whatever they did because but no, I'm totally impressed with the script. It's such a cool story, and they're like, oh, we got a small little part for you. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's no big deal. and they're like, well, you can be Stanley. I said, all right. I said, all right, that's cool. I love his wit. I love that little guy. As long as I can do the little bell thing, I'm cool.
I'm very intrigued.
I don't know if that's allowed nowadays.
No, it's not. Totally against everything woke now, so we can't do it. But no, this really is. I'm excited. I'm really excited. So I can't wait, and I hope, we people come up with and step forward and fund us. You know what I mean? Because it's not hard. I mean, we'll pull it off because that's what we do. But
yeah.
Annabelle was going to ask about the GoFundMe.
Yes. Yeah. So how can we, the audience, how can we help you?
Well, we're doing a GoFundMe, and everyone that donates, doesn't matter if you donate $20, doesn't. I don't know about $1. $2. We're saying any donation, you're going to get a ticket to the premiere. So when we have our first premiere, we will send you a ticket and
a golden ticket
and a credit and a special thank you in the
credits.
So that's kind of the road we took. So you can go to our link and go donate today.
And I'll have the link there. I have it there already, but I'll have it all over the website and YouTube and every place that you can watch or hear this. And where will the premiere be for people, listening and want to help out?
It's too early to say, but probably the same place we had Flag a Zombie. So
at the church with the old ladies and
we're gonna have the old ladies in the front row again.
Oh my god! Okay, so Neil and Annabelle are very familiar, and Troy are very familiar with our work. We played Strawberry Lane in a church.
In front of church ladies.
In front of church ladies.
My breath.
People like,
what?
That was the best night ever.
That was fun.
That was the best night ever.
That's the best.
Every time we do a premiere, right? Not so much the other movies, but Strawberry Lane specifically, I leave my seat and I watch the crowd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I watched their face melt in the I
think there was a oh my god.
There was an oh my god. And just watching those people, I'm just like,
yay!
It was such a wonderful day. And then I immediately texted Jeremy. I was like, "Oh, dude, this one was great. You have to see it."
Not me, right?
I live broadcast the audience reaction to him. It was hilarious.
Awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people too that came to watch Flag a Zombie had no idea we were doing the shorts in the beginning, and they were in for a treat.
Yeah, especially the church ladies.
Yeah. You can go check out the previous day we talked about the church ladies.
Annabelle, have you seen the movie Flag a Zombie yet?
I haven't.
I told her you should really.
I think that was something I need a link to see.
It's on Tubi.
Is it? Oh, I'll find it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
And there's also Blu-ray release for people out there.
Blu-ray. It's on Amazon, but it's free on Tubi. So
I've seen that movie so many times, and it never gets old.
I've heard amazing things, and now I know.
It was on my list of favorite horror movies that year. I genuinely really like it. Not just people are here.
It's going to be a completely different.
If you can guess how many zombies I was, I'll give you $1.
You'll get a free ticket.
Hell yeah!
You were a lot. I don't know how many.
That's the exact right answer.
Mine was the spectacle. I got more praises from my zombie at the end than my whole character.
Speaking of Flag a Zombie, so Matt, you're a very different character, I assume, in Sins of the Devil than you were in Plague of Zombie. So I'm interested in that because I see you and you kind of make me smile, and I think you're kind of a comedic actor. And to see you as a sinister guy, the picture works, and it's I'm very interested.
Well, I haven't even seen the script yet in whole. I've only seen bits.
Jeremy says it's great.
Yeah,
it truly, it's a really, really, really well written script. It's awesome. It's a very good script. Great story. Really, sorry, Matt.
Where I'm going with the character.
Yeah, Matt's in the story, he's the muscle, in other words. So he comes into when Reverend England, when Adam needs a little bit of muscle. So he's there to be menacing, but he does have a softer side you'll see in the movie. So
it sounds like there's a lot of trust with all of you together. Like you said, hey, Matthew, grow a beard. And he's just like, I'm on board. I'm hearing all of these people saying, I'm on board. And maybe not even having read very much at all. And that's really impressive. That says a lot for this group of people to have that much trust together to do this.
Yeah, I mean, we did Plaga Zombie for 8 years, so we got to know each other's, ins and outs, what not to say to someone, what to say to someone. So we said any movie that we make, we'll try to incorporate everybody who was involved. Like Adam Sandler does that with his friends. There's always somebody in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and for me too, it's like we gel well together. And on set, I don't want drama. I don't want people, with prima donnas or, you know what I mean, bringing bad vibes into the film. I want everyone to have a good time and be on board to just crank this thing out, because like James was saying, it's hard work. And I don't want to be there and have somebody pouting because it's taking too long or I'm, pushing them a little too far,
Yeah.
Everybody here wants to work hard and they want to make a good product. And that's very important to me.
Well, you said there about working 8 years on Plaga Zombie, so this is your third feature. Even though I love Plaga Zombie, it took you a long time to make it. So did you learn anything from that as far as like to try to get this done in a timely manner?
Yeah, I think not to put too much
zombies
on myself. The Plaga Zombie was so many visual effects. And that's what ate up all the time, and a lot of fix it in post, because when you're running out of time and you have to get the shot done, it's easy to say that, but not so easy when you're fixing it in post.
Like we had to dub everybody's voices over because we didn't have we had people that wanted to help, but they weren't really in tune with the microphone. So everybody had to dub, and that takes forever because somebody moved to California. She wasn't available, and so we had to get Amber to do her part. Like we had to contact everybody after 6 years.
Yeah, it was definitely a crash course in how to make a movie.
Yeah.
Period.
So now we don't want to make that mistake again, and we want to have a good crew, tight crew that knows what they're doing. We don't have a budget right now, but we would like to have good FX. So he doesn't have to worry about fixing everything in post.
Yeah.
Have an assistant director that can tell people what to do because he was doing all of that. I would try to help, and tell the zombies go this way, go that way, but you got 30 people there. So
and those are hard days because you spent 4 hours putting people in makeup, and now you have to shoot. So it's like after 4 hours of ripping clothes and putting makeup on people, and then now I got to pick up the camera. We got to shoot this thing.
Yeah.
So, but at that point, you're exhausted. Yeah.
Don't look at the camera. 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 Action.
Right.
They all looked at the camera. No.
So this movie is a little smaller. We just need a barn. We need a cop car. We need a house, a tattoo parlor. If anybody knows, a tattoo parlor, cop car. What else? A van.
Another guy.
Things like that. We don't need a big. But in Plaga Zombie, we had
$1 million. Nothing.
Yeah, $1 million would be nice. But Plaga Zombie had a lot of locations. We were on a boat. We had this. We had a warehouse. And this is more contained. We need the woods, a van. Creepy van, which we're gonna basically, helm.
Just get Gary's.
I'll throw it out there. Having once upon a time worked in the tattoo world, you can go to probably any tattoo shop you want and say, "We want to do this here."
Yeah,
it will be all about it. They will be on board. You take your pick, get your top 10 list, and just go door to door and be like, we want to do this.
Yeah, we need a liquor store. We don't need crazy places.
And those are all quick one-day shoots, so we'll be in and out of there.
I was about to say, as long as you put their logo in a shot, they're down. They're down. A lot of businesses are like that when you shoot. If they're like, well, am I going to get some advertising out of this? And then, all of a sudden that whatever you were going to pay them just goes away.
We would like people to see Plaga Zombie so they can see the quality of the
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You see what Plaga Zombie is and you'll be like, wow, these guys, they know what they're doing. It was hard, but at the end, you'll watch the movie and you'll be like,
I will also put out there, if you make connections with the tattoo people, they will advertise the hell.
I'm all tatted up, so I can be like, yo, the poster child.
Yeah, you're good to go then.
Yeah, like I got these at this place here. Yeah, just lie.
I can lie, but I got all my tattoos done over here, and I'm also in a movie. Come and get your tattoos.
So, on the Indiegogo, on the reel, you talk about the satanic panic in the '80s, which I grew up during, but I kind of think that's coming back right now.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. I was actually sharing it with a group today. There's like 3 new cult films coming out, and I'm like, and they're talking about the satanic. I'm like, of course now.
Figures, right?
I meant in reality too, especially more because people don't know I do a wrestling podcast, and a lot of those fans they talk about some whacked out stuff, like about people worshiping Moloch, and I'm not saying they say this to be funny, like they really believe this stuff. It's there's some really out there people today.
Oh yeah, I gotta play one of them.
Well, I'll give you some examples if you
I gotta
study
do some
real
homework,
people.
please.
Unfortunately, some of them think I worship Moloch. And
Huh? You have your own audience thinks that you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I get tagged in just today. I was tagged in a bunch of stupid shit about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I wrote, "Please don't tag me in this stupid shit anymore."
Yeah, don't.
But it's funny for a little while. But...
So this will be Adam's first feature with us, and we embraced him with like a brother, and he's been on board, like posting everything, like he's been part of the family for years. Awesome. So that's cool to find people like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm originally from the area, and I've lived out here in LA almost 24 years. So, so my wife and I are moving next month. Wow. We're gonna drive across, have our belongings shipped, and soon after we get settled back there, we'll be in front of the cameras, hopefully.
Wow.
So and we were lucky enough to Adam's actually letting us use his house.
Yeah, my mother is welcoming everyone with open arms, and she's excited to have her house as a set. So does
she know what kind of movie it is, or?
Oh yeah.
We might cast her in the movie.
She's actually really good. She as an actor. Yeah, she's been in a few of my films. So yeah.
That's a really wild change to go out there. I mean, this is a different. I think everybody knows LA. It's a very different place than New England and the cities of New England.
Yeah, very different. And ironically, since living out here, I've produced most of my shorts back in Massachusetts.
Interesting.
On my visits back east, so I'll film them there and then come finish them out here. But
what are some of those shorts? Are they what kind of genre are they?
They're supernatural horror shorts for the most part. They're up on YouTube. A couple are on Vimeo. If you do a search for Adam P. Cray, they'll come up. I did one in New Bedford called From the Window a few years back, and it actually played out here in a film festival. So it was received really well. And then I did another short called Safe Distance that we shot in Westport in Massachusetts.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that premiered at up over in Hollywood at the Montalban Theater a couple of years back. Yeah, it was I think it was right before the pandemic, so that was well received. So, and people always ask, "Oh, where did you film this? This is beautiful. The backdrop is beautiful." I'm like, "Oh, Massachusetts, southeastern Massachusetts.
It's a beautiful place."
Yeah, I can't replicate it.
In the world.
You going to Austin or something to go visit?
I just wrapped a feature here. We're in post production now. It's called Where the Dead Go, and it's written and directed, produced by Alberto G. Rodriguez, and it's also produced by myself and Carlos Gallardo, the original mariachi from El Mariachi. So he's a producer and actor in the film. So it was quite a thing for me, because El Mariachi is like one of the films that made me want to become a filmmaker. So it was an interesting full circle.
Yeah. I love the title. It makes me curious immediately.
Where the Dead Go. I love that. Yeah. Alberto also wrote, directed, and produced a movie called The Summoning that I believe is streaming right now. He did it with Eric Roberts over in Texas. So,
the Eric Roberts.
The Eric Roberts.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Best of the best.
Yeah,
All right.
look for it. It's called The Summoning. Yeah, it might be on Tubi, but yeah. Yep.
So you mentioned Plaga Zombies on Tubi, and there's the physical release, and so not to get ahead of yourself, but once this movie's finished, Sins of the Devil, and you said you want to premiere it, at the same place, hopefully. But where would you go from there? Would you go to festivals? What would be plans?
I do have an agent in LA that did the Plaga Zombie distribution for us. He did like the foreign distribution, which it's in Germany, Russia, France, Russia,
and Poland.
So
excellent.
And they dubbed our voices into like a Polish.
Oh, really?
And then
so surreal.
we have the United States domestic release too. So he's doing both of them, which it's nice, but we'll probably go the festival route first and see how that does, and see if it creates any buzz, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. And, Amber, how much control do you have over your wardrobe?
I'm not sure. We haven't had that conversation.
She does her wardrobe. That's her thing.
Yeah.
Everybody basically came up with their own.
She picked out what she was wearing in the promo, so she did a good job there. So.
That's actually a vintage top too.
Gary's open like that. He does this. He lets us become who we gotta be.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I always come up with these annoying gadgets that I have to wear. And last movie I had a leather jacket on in the middle of the summer. I'm like, now this shit is starting to make me feel hot.
Yeah.
So.
Annabelle and I were in Atlanta recently. We were at a vintage store, and I sent some pictures to Amber. I was like, "Oh, this stuff reminded me of you."
I had actually heard of one of the places that you had gone to, and like I have 700 things saved and want to go all around the country because of how much I like travel when I can. And like I think that burger place was
they were right next to each other, the burger place, and they shared a
Oh, that place looked amazing.
I recommend the Elvis burger. It sounds crazy, but it's bananas and peanut butter.
I'd have to try that peanut butter burger there.
Can I just say that my wardrobe was pretty much set in stone? Gary and I talked about it for like 5 minutes.
Gary is very anti-revealing this, so it must be something really important.
He's like Tom Holland in the Avengers when he's
it was pretty much, this is what you're wearing. Okay, I'll do it. Sounds good.
Amber, are you into horror in general? Like and not everybody who's an actor or is into horror, even if they're in horror.
I blame my grandmother for like we would watch horror movies when I was like 8 and have like we'd make like tots and nuggets and just like watch horror movies. It was like I've been around horror like since childhood. I love it.
That's great, because sometimes you hear about people that get into horror roles, and they're acting, they're professionals. Like, that's cool. You're going to take on a role. Like, fine. But then I feel like it must be so much more rewarding for someone to be in a genre that they really truly enjoy for themselves.
I heard Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't like horror, and she's in like all horror movies. Like, how could you not like horror and be like in the most, like the biggest horror movie in the world, like, and you don't like horror?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, we've had a few, not too many, but there are a few times where the guests, they don't like horror. And I always think, like, I just lie and say, yeah, I like it.
I mean, who doesn't like horror? You could, like, I don't know. That's the only thing I watch on Tubi. I'll go to Tubi and I'll be like, horror.
Got to be something you like there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tubi's, not only for fans to watch stuff, but from what I hear from most independent filmmakers, it's one of the better, if not the best, platform for independent filmmakers. As far as
it's easier to get, I think.
I'm gonna see Plaga Zombies. So
they're all on there now, because this is actually a fourth part of a trilogy made in Argentina. So there's a whole big story behind it. Like,
oh wow,
yeah. So you would have to watch 1, 2, and 3, which was made in Argentina, and then ours is like the fourth.
Yeah.
20 years later, of course.
Yeah.
I still have to get back to, I need to watch those and also think about getting some of those people on. I remember Walter and I were talking about getting some of the people on the show from the original trilogy. So
yeah, I can get that. You just let me know. I'll talk to them. They don't really speak English that well, but, Like,
I don't either.
So. But I'm sure they'll be, they still making movies. one of their movies was
Yeah,
on the screen box.
they're one
It's
of
called
them.
Pussy Cake.
Cool.
So I had asked Matt about playing like a different character than I would see him as, but when I saw the picture, like it works. So Gary, what made Matt right for you?
Well, I've been working with him since my first feature film, so naturally he's going to get a part somewhere. And, I was to tell you the truth, I wasn't sure if he was going to be right for the part until he came over to shoot the promo, and once he had the red suspenders on, and I gave him the baseball bat, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're perfect. It was a cool look, and he fit the role perfectly."
Yeah, I honestly didn't even realize it was you when I first saw the photo. Honestly, Matt. So I was like, I knew Walter and Amber, and I was like, who's this? Then I was like, oh, it's Matt from.
Yeah, Matt, you seem like such a sweet guy. I just imagine you being a villain. I'm like, whoa, this is going to be quite.
Matt's a chameleon. He's a chameleon. He's very good at what he does.
Which also means, Walter and Amber, we totally see them as villains. No.
Thank you. Well, I'll have you know that I'm not a villain in the movie. Okay?
No. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Villains are complex.
So Sins of the Devil, there's the GoFundMe so people can help out, and I hope they do. I like the idea that if you you help out, you get a ticket to the premiere and a thanks in the credits. Those are both good perks that everyone can appreciate. I think.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll see DVDs and that's cool too. But the idea of like you guys, here we are, all these different people as a community of filmmakers and creators, and I think that just further embraces that we're community and we're going to watch this together, not just here you've got a link to follow, which is fine, but this idea of everybody meeting, I love it. Yep. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like now that Hollywood's a little bit in shambles because everything that's coming out of Hollywood is kind of like let's give us a try. People have ideas but we don't have the funds to do it, so let's all make the funds happen. And then let's back him up, let's back her up, let's share. You don't have to give us money, but share, do something. Like I have 2,000 followers on my Facebook. If everybody gave me $1, that's $2,000.
That wouldn't help us. We need more.
I'm good at math.
Jeremy,
don't talk about
I'm just messing around. That would absolutely help. Absolutely help.
We're used to making stuff with nothing, so I'm not. The money will give us the opportunity to hire like an effects artist,
right?
Or pay the actors something. You know what I mean? Obviously, we're not going to be able to pay them extraordinary amounts of money, but just to give them something for their time, gas money, or what they need. That's the things that we need the money for. We can guerrilla style it and make it with nothing. And if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. But everyone's donation is going to be used for something in the film, and it's going to be much appreciated. Believe me.
It's like what Jane was saying in the thing. You invest in what you love. Okay, so Gary and I invested a lot in Plague Zombie, and now we want to invest in this one, but we don't want to invest everything because that's what we did for the last movie. And it's hard, because Gary and I, like Jeremy would always donate, people always giving us money.
Well, that's what Plague Zombie was. It'd be everyone would bring a little bit of something.
Right.
Jeremy would bring waters to the shoots. Somebody would bring bags of chips. Everyone pitched in, and that's what I loved, was that family.
Right.
Everybody had each other's backs.
And now we could say that our movie that we thought we were going to quit because we were going to quit that movie in the beginning is now in Russia, Germany, here. We're like, wow.
Poland.
People watching
that's
it.
wild.
Then you got those people that go on the IMDb and don't know what they're talking about, but we don't talk about them.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much for everything.
Yeah. A lot of those people.
7.3 on IMDb.
Some people don't get camp, man.
Yeah, they don't get it. I wouldn't watch a movie that I don't like. I mean, if I'm not into that genre, I'm not going to watch it.
I think there's people that just go there just to give bad reviews.
Oh yeah, even before a movie comes out.
Yeah.
There's a review that's that doesn't even mention anything in the movie, so it's I doubt this person.
How did you see it? Did you see it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think a lot of times it's like people do it for personal reasons, like they're trying to tear other people down. Like they really are trying to tear. It's not like I'm giving a review with a clear lens. It's like people are intentionally trying to hurt, bring down.
It's like you suck. You suck. You suck. Like,
I mean, I've seen a lot of terrible movies.
You haven't even seen anything.
I've never been compelled to go to
on IMDb and blast them. Oh, your movie sucks. I would never do that.
Never.
Were you about to say something, James?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I find that that's the culture of IMDb in general.
Yeah,
it's kind of I get for actors specifically that it's kind of like a necessary evil, but it really is a toxic toilet bowl, for lack of a better word, in the way that they allow the review bombing that Plaga Zombie got on IMDb, which I just, there's no check and balance to it. It's just you can say whatever you want and then give it a score. And I get the concept.
Yeah, and I read today that they actually took away the bad reviews for Little Mermaid because of that. But that's a huge movie, so they have power. Disney can be like, hey, we don't like this. But, the little guy, it's saying, like, you can't go there and say, hey, do the same thing for us.
They probably spent...
I wonder how that happened. I wonder how Disney was able to get those bad reviews.
Yeah, they spent more money taking away negative reviews than we could possibly spend on, like, 27,000 movies.
Yeah.
Disney forgot that happened. They were like, we paid IMDb off. Oh. They got more money than God.
Exactly. Oh God, we're cranky.
This was from earlier.
What happened?
This was to Amber from earlier. I did the same thing with my grandma. That's Pepe Potit. And I was watching horror movies, so that's very nice.
Nasty Neil and Troy Jones. I'm assuming, Troy, you've got the same backstory that Mama Bear was like, watch all of these batshit crazy movies, guys.
You know what? I don't know how
it used to be. It was kind of a neat thing. Like my option.
Uh-oh.
I'm breaking up a little bit.
Well, when Neil was just a bouncing baby, like, I'm cutting up. I'm sorry. But when Neil was just a baby, the option was you can stay home with Neil, or we can go to the drive-in and watch horror movies. And it's like, I think I'll take Neil along. That sounds good to me. He was a 2-3-year-old nasty Neil sitting in the back.
That turned out totally fine.
Crazy shit we were watching. So,
absolutely.
Yep.
I used to watch horror movies on Dialing for Dollars. Does anyone remember Dialing for Dollars?
I do actually.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I got
my grandfather wouldn't miss that. Wouldn't miss.
2 ringy-dings.
Yeah. George Allen.
3 ringy-dings.
If we were just talking about the
Creature double feature.
WLVI.
Creature double.
Yeah. Channel 56.
56, right?
Yeah,
that would come on after the Bruins game.
Yeah, I remember Channel 56.
After the Bruins games.
When I was young, it was like after 8 o'clock they would show it uncut, and I remember I was watching it was a Halloween 2. I think I was 7 years old, and I snuck out into the living room, and then I slept there because I couldn't. I was so terrified.
Okay.
And then my parents called me in the morning. What are you doing out on the couch? Michael's gonna come and get me.
You weren't sneaking out for Cinemax, or was that just me?
Skinemax.
That was probably before.
That was before Skinemax. There was no Skinemax.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dirty stuff.
I think it was Channel 38, the movie loft. That used to show
Yep.
Uncut horror films. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh,
HBO
yeah, that was great stuff.
I think I was watching Friday the 13th Part 2 with my grandmother, and the naked lady came out of the lake, and I was like, "What the heck? I didn't know that was going to happen."
I love horror.
Rams.
Yeah, you weren't expecting that one.
Did everyone here have family members that encourage their love of horror?
No, my parents think I'm crazy.
Yeah.
You're going to go kill those zombies again and over there? Because they're Argentinian.
No.
Go kill the zombies with your crazy friends. Okay, Dad, I'll see you later. I'll be back. Then he walks down like a zombie, like, I come get you. Like, bang, you're dead, Dad. But he supports me. Like, he's 85, so,
Likes to give you a hard time.
Yeah.
I want to see his zombie. So he's got a little actor in him as well.
My dad, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna videotape him.
I was gonna say he needs a cameo in this movie.
Yeah, get him into a movie with
If we make another Plaga Zombie movie, which I doubt unless we make $100,000 million, then we'll incorporate my dad. He'll be the star.
What were you about to say, James, in reference to
the...
Boom. Oh, no, I was just going to say I was born with a rated R VHS tape in my hand. My mom took me to see Jaws 3 when I was 3 years old. Like,
oh, nice.
This has been like from birth.
Jaws 3D? Was it Jaws 3D?
Yeah, it was Jaws 3D actually, because I was born in 1980, so it was like 1983.
Did you get the 3D glasses, or were you like me?
Oh yeah, no, I was chilling. My mom's got pictures. I was chilling with my little 3D glasses on.
See these pictures? Can you put those on Facebook? I want to see cute little James in his 3D glasses.
Yeah, that was the inspiration for the short there.
I will sneak into my mom's basement and try to unearth them. There's like 5,500 photo albums down there. We'll see. I'll see what I can do. But I know they exist. I've seen them with my own two eyes.
I'm imagining it in my mind, and it's beautiful. So if you can't find them, I'm imagining it. I love it.
I had like 5-6 pounds. I was a fat baby. So
you're a big baby.
Yeah, I was a big baby.
Big boned.
Heart in my blood.
Gary, what was the inspiration for you to watch horror movies?
I actually started off on Martin and Lewis films, and then I think they used to do like a double feature on Channel 56, and I think like I was watching it one day. You know, when you're like 6 years old, you don't have concept of time, so I was like, I'm gonna go watch some Martin and Lewis, and Halloween was on, and I just like got hooked, and my parents would kept pulling me away from the TV, so that's why I got up in the middle of the night to go watch it. And it just scared the crap out of me, and I was hooked from that day on. When I couldn't leave that couch because I thought Michael Myers was waiting in the shadows for me.
That's the best feeling on earth. I love that. Mm-hmm. Like I went to go see Terrifier 2 in the movie theater, and the screams, and they go, "Oh my god, what?"
Yes,
I love that shit.
Yeah, Annabelle and I went to see in the theater too, which it was really cool to see Terrifier 2 in the theater, like what you're saying, because a lot of people they're expecting to see like The Conjuring or something.
Yeah,
and, this is a much different film.
I think that was
like a normal horror audience.
A couple of jump scares or something.
Yeah.
It was cool because it's been so long since we've had that at a theater. It's like it's been years, like a good 20 years since we've had a movie like that. So it was so awesome to get
people needed that. They needed the Terrifier, definitely.
That's why they need Sins of the Devil. We need Sins of the Devil out there.
Yes.
Sins of the Devil.
Blood. You want blood? We'll give you blood.
Right. And Terrifier 2, I think, is good for a lot of independent horror films because it helped other movies. No matter what you think of that movie, it helped other movies get a theatrical release that probably wouldn't have.
Well, I guess they're going to have a re-release of Terrifier 1.
Yeah, it's coming
because
to
of the
theaters.
success. Yeah.
That's cool.
Are they making a third one too?
Yeah,
they just announced the third one, and it's going to have a bigger budget.
Yeah. I can't even imagine what they'll do with a bigger budget because their visual effects and gore is so mind-blowingly amazing.
I just hope that when you get a budget,
exactly, Annabelle. They did what they did with nothing, and it was awesome.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. That's one thing that could also be.
How are you going to beat that?
Yeah, if you
because when you get a lot of money, you get lazy sometimes.
Fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like you'd be like, "Oh, we got this. Let's do it. Let's do it." Like they did The Thing, the prequel.
Oh yeah.
They did all the prosthetic, whatever that stuff, and then they CGI'd over it.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
So sad.
So it's like when you have money, you kind of like, maybe we could do it this way, and they take away from that art, that hustling that when you don't have money.
Well, it's the problem solving when you don't have money. You have to figure out creative ways to get your vision through. So that's when all the best creative stuff comes out.
When we had Tom Savini on, that's exactly what he said was that was his favorite time making things is before figuring out how to do it with a limited and before like there was a set way of doing these things.
Like Rice Krispies.
Exactly.
Tell them about that.
Amber, by the way, what were some of the movies you watched with your grandmother that really stood out to you that like, hey, this is what I like?
Well, it's his own fault because then he writes books.
We had one night we had watched like I think we rented like 5 movies from Blockbuster, and we were like watching Cujo and 13 Ghosts and all kinds of random stuff. And it was actually funny because I had read Cujo, like little like 3rd grade child reading Cujo, and I'm
I
like,
just read it recently. It's a pretty. It's one of the more depressing King books.
yeah. Well, the thing about the movie though that I thought was weird was like it ended happy, and I'm like, I remember being like, this sucks. Like,
yeah. That's why I like Burnt Offerings, because the ending is completely screwed.
Oh, that's a good one.
I've been waiting for you, Ben, and forever because of that lady. I will never look at an old lady in the face. No offense to old lady, but I've been waiting for you, Ben. She fucking jumps at him, and I'm like, oh shit. No, I'm a kid watching this.
That premiere Plaga Zombie was scarring for you. It had all these old ladies at
exactly.
the
Why do you think I was in the back?
You were hiding.
I was hiding. I was like, oh. It's Mrs. Allardyce. You like that movie, Anna? It was amazing.
I love that movie.
I love that.
It's one of my top. Like,
It's
if
so
I'm
creepy.
just looking for something to watch,
Yeah.
I want my like horror comfort food.
Mhm.
That is one of those movies.
Yes. I watched it the other night just to get that kick at the end, and it still freaks me out when she turns around. She's like, "I've been waiting."
Her eyes are all weird.
Oh no. and then it's such a bad ending. Like the kid fucking gets destroyed by the chimney.
Yeah, sometimes it's those classic moments.
Yeah. I mean, it's a slow burn. It's a slow movie. But it's creepy. Like her face is creepy.
Great. The cast is amazing.
Amazing. Oliver, what is his name? Well, not Oliver.
Oliver Reed.
Oliver Reed.
Karen Black.
And
who's the older woman? Is it
no, shit. She died.
Betty Davis.
Not Mommy
right? Yeah.
Betty Davis.
And
Betty
then
Davis.
the guy who played Penguin.
Burgess Meredith.
What?
Yeah, Burgess Meredith.
The guy who
played. He was like one of the
guy who
first
played
really, actors in the movie. He was like gay in the movie. I think him and the sister. He was like, oh,
that's Mick. You're a bum rock.
That's Mick.
I'm a big fan of Burgess.
Not me, Mick.
Yes, I don't know.
Never amount to nothing.
But yeah, that was why I brought up that movie, because that was one of my first horror movies when I was a kid.
That's actually one of my first ones too.
And then I saw Hell Night. You remember Hell Night with Linda Blair?
Oh yeah, of course.
I know I've seen it.
You need to watch it.
I haven't seen it as many times.
Oh yeah.
Hell Night, for some reason, they had like a twist in
Wasn't
the movie.
Karen Black in that one too?
Was she Karen Black?
No, Linda Blair.
Wasn't she Oliver Reed's wife in it? No,
that was Burnt Offerings.
Burnt Offerings.
I remember Poltergeist like this.
Yeah.
I saw Poltergeist in the movie.
I remember Poltergeist. Anybody watch that?
Oh yeah, I'm a fan of Poltergeist.
That's a great one.
I'm actually
that was the best trauma movie for a long time at that point.
I played an extra in a new trauma movie. The guy, because I met what's his name?
Oh yeah,
Lloyd Kaufman.
My friend is friends with
nice.
him. He's like, oh, yo, get this guy in one of the movies, and he's like, oh, they're gonna be filming in Brooklyn one day. I'm like, all right, I'll go. So I'm an extra.
Oh,
Lloyd's a pretty interesting fellow.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Yeah, I was
nice.
happy to get
I gave him one of
Lloyd
our
in my
posters.
movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lloyd's a good guy, and he's really helpful. He'll help you out. You know, he's helpful to a lot of independent creators.
Yeah, I gave him our poster. He's like, "Oh my god, this is a great poster. Thanks, man." I'm like, "Yeah, thank you. I've been watching your movies, crazy stuff."
Yeah, and it's cool that always, James Gunn always puts a cameo for him because he remembers that's where he got to start. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, like you said, we got to help the community.
Even Guardians 3, you see him.
Yeah.
That's
so I was
great.
happy to see that. So Sins of the Devil also has a really cool logo. I like this. It's up here over by James's head, I believe.
That's we got a lot of talented people in Argentina that always flock to help us. And he did the logo for us. One of the guys did the logo for us. He did it like a night before. I'm like, dude, we need a logo for something. Boom.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, and he's working on a poster, which we can't reveal, but it's pretty cool.
Wow.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really well done. Stands out. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll have the link for the GoFundMe page. People help it out because I'd like to see it. I'm sure people watching this would like to see it.
Yeah, we're a cool bunch of people.
Yeah, we're all very likable.
A lot of WLVI TV 50.
There's no egos here. Everybody's like a family. Everybody's got their own little personality and their quirks. We work well together.
I'll get my red Skittles.
I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Red Skittles.
I'm more of a. I know people like red. I kind of like green. I think that's like people don't like green stuff. But I like green stuff.
I'm a red guy.
Red.
Orange. I think
I'm
orange.
glad they brought back lime. No more red green apple. Lime.
Yeah, I'm more. Yeah, I think lime. I'm an apple guy though, but I like apples, not necessarily apple flavor. That's what I said. I like apples.
I didn't like the apple. It didn't mesh well.
Oddly, I like artificial watermelon flavor better than actual watermelon. I don't know why.
What?
I'm not a fan of watermelon.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, Neil.
It's one of the only fruits I don't like. I don't know why. And I'm
Well,
sure this is why
probably
people
some-
turned in. They're like, I wonder what Nasty Neil thinks of watermelon.
We're kind of like going off the rails anyways. So since people are from New England, I saw someone in the store yesterday with a Friendly's watermelon roll.
Oh,
They were
wow,
buying
okay.
it, and I was like, "What?" So I'm assuming.
rock
people
on, I love
from New
those.
England, No Friendly's watermelon roll. It's one of the best.
Yeah, you got chocolate chip seeds and everything. Yeah.
Need it. Always
If
need
real
that.
watermelons had chocolate chip seeds, I might like them better.
Yeah, you'd be down with them. Then.
AJ's mom hated horror movies, but his dad loved them.
Yeah.
The Carvel will see that.
Good marriage.
Correct.
All right, so since the father people helped that out, and it's always really cool to see everybody here,
Yeah,
and
it's
hopefully we
wild.
can do this again in the
Yes.
future.
It's been really
We
cool.
like doing this. This is fun.
Yeah.
Very fun. Nice
Thanks
talk.
for having us.
Thank
Of
you.
course, yeah, anytime. Everyone here is welcome. So let's
Annabelle,
go.
let me know your thoughts when you watch
yeah, it's great.
Planet
I
Zombie.
will. Absolutely. So
I'm
should I
down.
try to seek out these other films?
They're all on Tubi.
Okay,
Just put Planet Zombie and they'll show all 4.
I will find.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So after you watch me, we'll
Yep.
do
You'll
some
dig it,
we'll
I
do
think.
something on the show for Plague Zombie.
All right.
Oh,
I'm
sounds-
a big fan of it. So
all right. Very
let's
cool.
go around here though, quick. And where can people follow everybody? James, where can people follow you? Back to your home to see what you're up to.
Me?
No, online.
I think
Oh,
he's going like across the
Ah,
Brady Bunch.
Right.
Yeah, we're just gonna do the whole thing. It came from the 508.com first and foremost. It's where you can get a hold of everything we do, whether it be Beneath the Red Umbrella, the movies, the music, the whatever crazy stuff's up there. It's hard to keep track these days. All that's available. It came from the 508.com. If you want to follow us directly, I mean, it's also It Came from 508 on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. I think that's it. But if you type in It Came from the 508 on those sites, you'll find something. There might be others. I don't know. Me personally, James Lamond, or on Facebook, James and the Giant Leech on Instagram.
Which is a great name.
And I think that's it.
Yeah, that's a super name.
So in our backyard, basically, right?
I'm 5 feet from most of you guys. I live in Somerset. We're like cousins. We're like in each other's backyards.
Are you like the bear that we've been seeing around here, or what the hell's going on?
Well,
What kind of bear are we talking about?
A black bear.
It's very hairy here.
There was a
Black
there was a
bear,
black
yeah.
there was a black
Oh.
bear up my street. Now he's in Plymouth, Dartmouth, New Bedford. He's all over the place.
Annabelle and I, we
put him
remember
on
when we
there.
saw the black bear at when we were staying in New York, and it was
It was in the trash one
He might
night.
have followed you
Another
guys.
day, it was like,
I don't know. He's in the trash. He's in the tree. I don't know what he's doing.
Hide your
He's
bird.
everywhere.
Hide your bird feeders.
Yeah, take the bird feeders in. Take the trash in. Like, what are we doing here? Stupid. One bear.
It's hungry.
Matt. Yeah. Matt, where can people follow you if you want them to? I don't know. Maybe you don't.
Where can the stalkers find you there, Matt?
Like the bear.
Graham.
I don't know. Matt, I don't know. Just look up Matthew Hill. You'll find him, I guess.
Yeah. Next.
Gary, where can people follow you?
I'm down at the corner of County Street.
Yeah, he's gonna be working tonight.
Trying to get
money. You know?
Yeah, you're really trying to raise the funds.
Tomorrow I'm gonna be working the strip too.
But Facebook.
I know what I'm doing after the show.
I'm on Instagram, and I think that's it.
What's your name though?
My name is Gary Medeiros.
Yeah, I believe I did not say anyone's last names when I introduced you all, but that's all right.
Go watch Flag a Zombie on American
Tubi.
Invasion on Tubi.
Have fun.
And then you can get my name off there.
Yeah. Basically, yes.
As my mother calls it, to be or not to be.
Yes, I like Tubi. I'm a very. He doesn't like it because there's a lot of commercials. Right?
Yeah.
I will watch it, but it's not as bad as the freebie.
Oh yeah, that's.
I will watch it. They have a lot of good movies there.
Yeah, a lot of stuff you won't see anywhere else.
I love indie horror films and bad, good. I'll watch it all. So it's a great place to find stuff like that. So.
We had one guy who loved the movie so much that he said he played it every night so that we could get money from it. I'm like, I don't think it works that way. But you might guess. You go on everybody's computer and put it on. You know,
go to the public library.
Yeah. Put it everywhere.
Wherever you guys see a computer, just put it.
Just I like that idea. That's pretty.
But cool. He was like, always hitting me up. He's like, "Thank you, man, for talking to me." I'm like, I'm nobody.
That's good plan.
No, thank you. I'm like, cool. That's my first crazy fan. Holy shit. Then I got another one doing a collage of my pictures. This girl from Texas.
Wow.
Wow, she found all my pictures.
That's awesome.
Collage. I was like,
wow.
No one's making pictures of me.
Nobody made pictures of Gary yet. But you're gonna see one funny one tomorrow.
I have them all over my wall.
We have nice memes coming around, so you can keep an eye on our memes.
And how about yourself, Walter? Where are they going to find you?
Walter.
Apparently, people can find you already if they're making.
They can find me anywhere. Just go to Walter Cobra with a K Rivero, and that's my Facebook and Instagram.
And you are a very nice guy.
Thank you.
We stayed in touch after the last time I had you on. We talked a lot. Jeremy, where can people find you?
My shit's pretty basic. I'm just Jeremy Labrie on Facebook, and same thing with Instagram. That's about it.
Fair enough. And Adam?
I am at Adam P. Cray on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and you can also find me on Vimeo and YouTube.
What's that shirt, by the way? Is that Last Night in Soho or?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
Yeah.
You enjoyed that
Nice.
movie.
Very
Yes,
good.
we did.
Yeah, one of my favorites of the 2020s.
I agree.
Do you know Soho Hank?
I don't.
You've seen Barry, right? You guys seen Barry?
I have. I've not seen the last season yet.
I'm not. It's great. Now it's over, right?
Yeah. But they did it well. They
The
did it
last
well.
episode.
I don't want to
They
know
only
because I haven't watched the last season yet.
They only did. Oh, shit.
You know that Matt's going to
Crazy
play
good.
Santa Claus in our next horror movie. Okay, that's why he's going.
Yeah.
But no, they did it well. They only did the 4 seasons.
nothing wrong with that.
And told the story and ended the story. They didn't just keep
That's
going and
good.
going and going with nonsense.
Smart.
Yeah.
And Amber, where can you be found?
She's
Easiest way to find my stuff is Linktree/Amber Moses. You can get to my TikTok and my Instagram there. I spend most of my social media time on TikTok, and then next in line is Instagram, and eventually I'll do all the other stuff. But just follow me in all the places.
Yeah, and you have a lot of fun, shorts on there.
Yeah, I get a lot of joy out of TikTok. It's like a really easy way to just get my creative nonsense out.
There's a very cool. I recommend. It's kind of a vamp. I don't want to give too much away, but you're in a shed, and yeah, it's kind of it's like a little horror short. It's very cool.
Yeah, we were trying to make a sequel to that, and we can't find the shed key.
Oh, really?
So eventually that might happen.
That should be
Work that into the story.
movie's about.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Find the key.
Where's that
Part
key?
3 will be you found the key. Now the
Now
Brady,
the Brady Bunch
is in
song
my
is in my head.
I'm definitely gonna have
For
to
the
find
key.
you, Amber, because that sounds. It sounds like you're doing some pretty cool TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So we're gonna play Timothy Fife here. He's the music of the month. Very happy to have him here.
They're lovely.
And thank everyone for being on. We'll come back and talk some nonsense after we play this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Girls.
Take care.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank
folks.
you.
Great having everybody on. Thank you so much.
All right, and we are back here once again. A big thanks to everyone who was on. It's really been a very fun show so far.
Yeah, so far.
Yes.
No promises going forward.
Right.
Oh, Troy's muted.
Oh, yeah, Troy, we'll have you back here.
Troy, I have to say this.
I was going to say we're going to have it's a big downer from here on in.
Troy, I'm throwing this out there. Your microphone.
All right.
Down. Put it down. Down. Yay! Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Very nice. Very nice. Big thanks to Timothy Fife. We'll have some more music in the future, but today was very busy for me, so we only have one, but it was a very cool one. And there's going to be some extra shows next week too.
Be clear that the second piece of music was not Timothy Fife. That was the theme music to Under the Red Umbrella, not Timothy.
Right.
So the first one, very atmospheric and amazing. I love it. Timothy Fife. Second one, what's his name? I feel bad. Jeremy
Arruda. Who will be part of Severed Limbs TV coming very soon.
Very nice.
Be very exciting, yes. All right, so yeah, Timothy Fife. This might be a little confusing next week because we will have Sorrow Seed on as guest, but it will be music of Timothy Fife. But it'll be very
when will Timothy Fife be on?
Well, next week's 2 guests, but any week after that he could be on. Sorrow Seed actually are in flight right now from Vegas to Boston because they have a big show this Saturday. So, very cool for them.
Very cool.
It'll be actually be 3 members of the band, so that'll be exciting. So next week it's Taneke Robson, who is the stunt actor for the Deadite mom in Evil Dead Rising. So that's going to open the show. That's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sorrow Seed will be on after her. But it worked out because she's in New Zealand, so I thought this would have to be a recorded interview, but I looked at the time difference, and when we start at 7 our time Eastern on Thursday, it'll be 11 a.m. for her the next day because she's a time traveler. And so it totally works out. It's very cool. Very good.
Pictures you got of her from behind the scenes are so cool.
Yes, she cool. Very cool. Sent a lot of she sent a lot of very cool behind the scenes pictures that aren't even on her social media anywhere. So I'm very happy about that.
And are we free to share them? Or
yes.
The insider. Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah. There's going to be a banner coming up. I'll probably make that tonight for next week. So that'll be very good.
Nice.
And there'll be a couple extra shows next week of some pre-recorded interviews for some stuff that's opening. There's going to be interviews for the Angry Black Girl and her monster.
Oh, sweet.
That's very cool. And some interviews that comes out theatrically next week, and for Brooklyn 45, which starts on Shudder next Friday.
Oh, didn't that came out for like a day or something? Didn't it?
Yeah, it played at festivals, and it had a limited release. I missed it in Boston tonight. It actually, I believe it's his last theatrical screening was in New York. Tonight. So if people in New York. So that'll be fun though. So very good movie. So I interviewed Ted Gagan, the director, writer and director, and he's also the producer of Queer for Fear, which is the LGBTQ series on a documentary
it's really
series
good.
on Shudder.
It's like 4 episodes, real good stuff.
Where can that be found?
That's on Shudder.
Yeah. They get a lot of really cool insight to different takes on things that I never even thought of.
Like ways to I think everybody knows Mark Patton and how the different theories about that Nightmare on Elm Street and what does it really mean? Is it some of it like that where there's
some of it, but then they even bring it way back. They even talk about a little bit of Mary Shelley and a lot of things I had no idea about, completely blew my mind.
Very cool.
Yeah.
They talk about James Whale, I believe.
Oh yeah. They talk about him, and they talk about who was it that wrote Oh, yeah, that guy.
That's
No,
the guy. I
you're right.
can't wait.
Yeah,
But
like,
I love Mark Patton, but it's nice that it features a lot of people that you might not necessarily the go-to people.
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, it
And
was,
Brooklyn 45's cast is great. So just a quick it's five, it's like a cast of 5, maybe 6 people, and the whole movie takes place in one room. It's set in 1945, and it's sort of an Agatha Christie mystery movie. With horror elements, a lot of social commentary about like the morality of war and homophobia and xenophobia. There's a lot of stuff packed into this movie, and it almost feels like you're watching a play because it's 5 actors in one room and they're
they
all
just
knocking
stay
out
there
of the
the whole
park.
thing. Nice.
Yeah, it's really well made movie. When there are effects, they're very very, very there's a lot of shocking moments in the movie because it's very dialogue heavy, and then when some certain things happen, you don't expect them. I recommend it. It's really good. Especially, I think you, Annabelle and Troy really like it because you guys really like those kind of mystery movies.
I love the trailer. I saw it, and was it Michael Fessenden's in it?
Larry Fessenden, who I'm a huge
Larry.
fan of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. He's great, and he's all cleaned up. He's usually, as I mentioned, I don't want to spoil the interview, but Ted's like, yeah, we even got him to comb his hair. Usually his hair is all over the place and stuff.
Why did that spoil the interview?
Huh?
Why was that?
It was just a little part that he said in the interview. I thought it was funny.
It's entice
there
to
you
interview.
Go. Yes.
It just inspires like curiosity about how fun this interview must be.
Yeah, and you see, I don't know if you see him in the interview. It might be in the pre-interview, but Ted's son, like his 2-year-old son, is briefly in because it was his dad day. But anyways, really cool interview, and hope people check it out next week.
Very cool.
And if people don't know, Ted also made We Are Still Here, which was my favorite horror movie of that.
I love that movie.
Which
I
also
can't get
Larry
enough of that
Fessenden
one.
in it.
Yep.
Also a seance scene.
The guy I couldn't think of was Oscar Wilde with the picture of Dorian Gray.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So, like, there's one episode, I don't know if it's the first one, but they talk a lot about, like, 19th century writers and things that were kept secret, and, you know, changes took place in, like, England and stuff, and they were like, okay. So, I definitely recommend the whole series, though, because each one's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm so curious about how it ties in with a picture of Dorian Gray. I'm sitting here thinking about that story and like, oh, that sounds like it could be. My first thought is like there's some kind of self-loathing going on in the story.
Well, they explore a lot of crazy stuff that I never thought of, like even in Frankenstein and stuff. Like some really interesting stuff.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Thank you for the recommendation.
The other one that I found out that you guys, I can't recommend it highly enough, and I just found it by accident on Netflix, and it's a Taiwan movie, The Incantation, and I just thought it was brilliant. I loved it. Like, it had me hooked right at the get-go, and I just think it's tremendous. I think word of mouth, everybody should watch this movie.
Check that out. Yeah,
I love
really dug it.
So, yes.
And
now Neil and I saw an Asian horror. It was last summer. Was it called Ma or something like that? It was like
something. Yeah.
And you guys said it was kind of misleading, though. It wasn't really that much horror in it,
and not good.
And I think it was like an American Asian horror.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So
an American horror movie with some Asian actors in it, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
I never ended up watching it after I heard you guys like.
Just a completely missable movie.
This one's just the opposite. Once you watch it, it's going to be like you got to tell everybody, "Oh, you got to watch this movie."
So
well, that's like. Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, so give a little taste of what is the story about.
Okay, it's kind of a curse. It's a woman and her kid. I don't want to give too much away. It's like it's so tight. It's such a cool little story. but there's a lot of supernatural jazz happening. There's you get cool like monkish chants going on. You got just
I'm all about that.
all kinds of cool stuff. Like I really can't recommend it highly enough. I mean, it's probably not like a huge production, but they got a lot out of like what they had. Like the acting's great in it. Everybody's so good.
I will find it. And that's a Shudder one or elsewhere?
Netflix.
Netflix.
That's why I was
Oh,
surprised.
interesting.
I was, they're
Yeah,
like, you
'cause
watch this,
Netflix-
you might like this other thing.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, Netflix used to be like pretty good for horror, but they've really gone downhill for horror.
Yeah. Yep.
You can't even find old classic horror at all. You used to be able to go
No,
to
it's
Netflix
hard.
and find, you could just be like Peter Cushing and
Yeah,
bloop,
yeah.
or now there's nothing. It's sad.
Yeah, it's tough now. Like you look up Cushing and you get like, well, rent this one for $15.99. Like,
Yes.
what? No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, and I also wanted to mention, starting on Shudder, I believe next week is a movie that Annabelle and I really liked. Is Unwelcome,
Oh,
and it
God.
had a short theatrical release, and it's hitting Shudder.
It's
All right, I'll
beautiful.
definitely check that out.
That's the little dudes one, right?
The red cap one.
God,
Red cap
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I loved it.
When I heard about that, like, I'm sold.
Yeah, it works. It works as a creature movie, but it's also a really good movie. Then it gets really bizarre.
Evil Gnomes, I'm down with that. Come on.
Yeah, they're like, I mean, you know of red caps just from D&D and things like
Yep.
that. Like, yeah, these are like the elven beings of Ireland that are, don't mess with them. They're so
Yeah,
cool.
ooh.
They're so cool.
So that's next week. I'm definitely down with that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Audience people, the Unwelcome, it's a couple. They're living in the city. They're trying to start a family. Things go down in the city. They have nasty things happen to them. So they decide they're going to move. And they are fortunately bestowed with a home that's in disrepair. But it comes with a catch. And that catch has to do with the red caps. And it's cool. It's great.
All right.
Yeah,
It's great.
I loved it.
There's villains in the country. There are villains in the city, and then there are villains in the country who are not the red caps.
Hmm.
One of them being Lieutenant O'Brien from Star Trek.
And
Oh,
he's
nice.
so good in it. I mean, he's kind of like
Look,
he's playing over the top, but you could tell he's really loving it. It's great.
Okay. Good.
Yeah. Quite villainous.
Yeah. And we had mentioned in the interview about Terrifier 3, that was the big news came out, I think like yesterday, that it's they're making it and it's gonna have a bigger budget than the last two.
$5 million. I pulled up the
Whoa.
article. $5 million.
Dang.
They're
Well, the
saying
last one I
okay,
think did really well, didn't it?
raked in. So it's the Fangoria article. When Terrifier 2 raked in over $15 million off the back of its $250,000 budget last year, two things were immediately certain: we'd definitely be getting a Terrifier 3. And director Damien Leone was all but guaranteed to snag a bigger budget this time around. Consider the insane tableau Leone arranged on $250,000. Now imagine what he could do with, say, $5 million. That's interesting. And this came up with the guests earlier, is that, you know, what happens with that money? And part of that is it's being financed now. Someone's giving this money, and I'm wondering what happens with that, because sometimes when people give you money, they expect a certain amount of control in how that money
Yeah,
goes.
that's true. You don't want that, really.
Yeah. But who
Well,
knows? Maybe they just believe in the vision and say, how about it? Here's your money.
Yeah.
Also interesting, I saw Damien posting about this a couple weeks ago, and he said, what would people like to see from Terrifier 3? And he said, do you want something that's going to be that tops Terrifier 2 as far as gore and stuff, and probably still have a limited release, or a movie that's going to have more of a release, but it's going to be, he didn't say toned down, but I mean, that's basically what he's saying.
Yeah. I guess it would have to be if you're getting like a broader
Yeah, but I don't know if
release.
it's interesting, because I don't know if the fan base of Terrifier will want that. But then you also bring in a new fan base, you know, potentially. So I don't know. I don't know the answer here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly that. You've got all this money, and now what are you going to do with it? And I don't.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, and I'm so curious. It's. I think it's really interesting that he put the question out there.
Yeah,
Part
that's
of me
kind of
wonders-
cool.
And part of me wonders, is he trying to provide evidence for the people doing this funding that this is not, people don't want this watered down thing. They want it to be batshit crazy.
Yep.
And that's going to get you your return on your money. That would be my hope. Because like I was saying to James earlier, sometimes creators will reach out to the audience to kind of drive where their stories are going. And that does not seem to usually work out very well.
And as much as I'm a big Terrifier fan, I actually like the first one the best. But I like both of them.
The first one...
Terrifier, the first Terrifier, not the first Art the Clown movie. But there is, like, I like crazy kills and all this stuff. Don't get me wrong. But if you keep outdoing yourself, you do get to a point where it's like, you know, what exactly are you doing? So I'd have to see it. I don't know. I'm just saying, just to outdo yourself, I don't know.
You don't want to do
that's always a
that.
great thing either. So.
Yep.
I think yes, but do you think that's the danger here is because they started to make a story, right?
Oh, yeah.
The first one had a story, but now it's like they've got an arc. They've got a direction.
You have to continue that, because I even saw him say, because I follow him on Facebook, and saying like this was before they had the money and stuff, that the third one would go back to basics and be more of like a scary movie. But it's like, you can't abandon the story you created.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I don't know.
I hate things unfinished like that.
Because the last one really set up for a sequel.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to follow this character.
Then you get that Halloween where, like, oh, who's the guy in the boots?
Yeah.
You'll never know. Who cares? Okay, thank you.
And I think they've got their
if they have enough money, they can give some of it to Zycon for Sins of the Devil. There you go.
I like it.
Very, very good.
I mean, that's the 10,000's just a small drop compared to the 5 million.
True.
Yep.
And as someone who is an indie film director that came from very small beginnings, maybe he would believe in that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Leone. But I think they've got, like, their plot for Terrifier 2 is real weird. Mm-hmm. It went in really strange places, and the audience is along for that ride. Will they still hang on with something that it just goes totally in a different direction? Maybe, but the movie was successful because of what it was in the theater, not because of what it was before, not because of what it could be if they went in a new direction. It's because of what it was, and part of that, I think, was the story, that real weird, kind of almost psychedelic, strange tale. So I don't know.
And I think there is an audience for these crazy,
without a doubt,
bloodbath movies.
Yeah, they kind of proved that.
I'm fine with, but whatever. I mean, that's why they rate movies. I mean, so if you don't bring a kid to a movie that's telling you it's a splatterhouse film. So.
I also think they have a great. I'm so bad with names with people in my reality, let alone people's names in film. The female lead in the new movie. I just saw, I think it was from Frightmares, someone had this amazing cosplay of that character. She made the
with the wings and all.
Yes,
yeah,
and it's incredible. And that is
a
really strong female character. That really is this badass character who's beaten up and keeps going and going and going.
Yeah.
She's creator. There's very many great aspects to that character, and
yeah, that would be fun to go with for a while.
Yeah, so if they go back to basics, what does that mean for this character? Does that mean
maybe they'll do a separate thing with her?
Yeah, but if they just don't follow up, it's very strange. So we'll
that would
kind of see what happens. But I am interested. I'm interested in the third one. See where they go.
Yep.
I just wanted to bring. So this is so.
Oh, what do we got?
Okay, so I get this. I don't. This is not free to me. I buy this. This is a horror haul.
Oh.
And it's very fun. You get it quarterly, so it's not monthly. And my friend Robin Anderson suggested this to me, so I started getting it, and it is very fun. The first one I got, it was was the winter one, and so it had a long sleeve Creature from Black Lagoon shirt and some cool stuff. So I got
is it
this
all
today.
shirts or is it a bunch of different things? Okay, cool.
All different stuff.
That's what I love. I love those ones that have all the gifts.
So I opened this earlier, so it's not a surprise to me, but I thought there's something in here.
You didn't have to spoil that. Just say, I've never seen this book before.
Acting!
Yeah, come on.
I just did want to show though. It's very cool because it's like Christmas in a box. So it was this Friday the 13th, and it's like a canvas.
Is it a messenger bag?
Yeah, so and it's
that's
canvas.
sweet.
It's very nice. It's even got a little
Oh.
zipper here, which Annabelle likes
nice.
pockets.
I do.
So it's got
Yeah, I have 'em.
and the zipper has is a machete blade.
That's awesome.
That is the coolest.
And I
Right,
walk
I
all
love
the
that,
time.
Dale.
And actually, this is good for me to put packages in when I walk to the post office.
That's really sweet.
Nice.
So that's very useful.
Excellent.
It had a. This is a
That
night.
tent?
It's I thought it was a rain jacket first,
Oh,
but
it's a
it's a windbreaker.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And
Oh,
it's Friday,
oh,
Nightmare on Elm
I
Street.
love the lining inside on that. That's the best.
Yeah.
In the back is Freddy.
Oh, very nice. Well, that's a good one too. That's a win-win so far. I like these.
Yes. There's a Lost Boys travel mug.
Nice. I do
which
like
I'm gonna start drinking the coffee out during the show. Oh, I'm not a big fan of the movie, but the pin's cool. It's the Nun pin.
Aha.
Okay.
It is
That's a
good
great pin,
looking-
though.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
really cool. This is wild. I guess they're gonna start doing these all the time because this is the first one in the series. It says #1, and they're called Nooks. And what it is, it's a bookend.
Oh.
Oh, that's badass. I
Or
love
Very
that.
heavy. And this one is Pennywise. You can kind of see what it's going to look like in the back.
So it's a bookend.
Yeah.
That'll be great.
Or
So-
a perfect DVD Blu-ray end for the
Yep.
video collectors.
Yes. So
Oh, that
it'll
thing's
look
cool
cool. I'll
as
start
hell.
collecting them up here. We need another bookshelf.
You do. You need to like have your background go further back so you can
Yeah.
get more.
I actually do have a third bookshelf. I was waiting until I moved this upstairs, which I need to do. And this was very funny to me, Annabelle, and you're going to know why as soon as after you see what it is. It is a travel umbrella, which I just bought one because if I would have known, although I would have got very wet that day, and it's the Exorcist travel umbrella. I don't want to
Doesn't
open
look
up
like
here
when you
because
open it. You
it's
gotta open
bad
it.
luck to open in here, but
You know,
they do.
you're not
This
superstitious.
is very funny. So they show it. They show
That
a little.
thing's jammed with stuff. You're
Yeah, it's very
jammed
cool.
with goodies in that crate.
So I don't know if you can see, but it's striped and it changes color. So when the water hits it, it turns into green puke.
Get out!
Green puke,
What?
spattered green puke.
Oh my god.
So those are the other ones they make. You can get a Pennywise one and a.
No, this is all the stuff that
Oh,
Pennywise.
that's the stuff that was
Nook,
in the
it's-
crate.
yeah.
Oh, I see.
Wow.
Okay, very good.
That's quarterly. How much does it cost?
I think it's $30.
That's
I might
it?
have to look into one
Yeah,
of
it
them.
might be.
Does
40.
everyone get different things, or does everyone
No,
get the same
yeah,
thing?
and I think
Okay.
they might tell you ahead of time, but I don't look, and I always tell Robin not to tell me. So when she
More fun
posted her,
that way.
she even blocked me from seeing the post.
So do you just say, "Here's my shirt," et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah,
size?
you put
Oh,
your
okay.
size in,
Yeah.
and I used to get both of us actually, her and Robin and me, we used to both get this I forget, horror crate maybe it was,
Yeah.
horror block I think it was. This one
Okay.
that's no longer around. It was really cool, and there've been other ones. I won't name the company is not very good, but this one I really like a lot. Oh
And
yeah, it
so
even
what is the
says
name of this one again? It's
even
Horror,
look, it's got an L on it for large.
Oh, nice.
Horror Hall.
Horror Hall. HAUL. Horror
Yeah.
Hall.
Okay.
So I'm just giving them a shout out. This wasn't free, but I like it.
Yeah.
I might have to
I mean,
look into that. I kind of like that.
Yeah. So we got
That's
a couple merch here to show. So I do want to show this. They did send me this. This is the Universal Monsters Tarot deck.
I am so
Ooh.
curious.
Oh, that's tremendous.
So this is, even the box is cool. It's like a coffin. So it's like a lined coffin.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Huh.
And it's got it's got the booklet here to tell you what everything means, which is very nice. And it's got all the cards.
All right. So all the cards.
Ooh.
All right. So there would be major and minor arcana. So I think there's 21 major. So it's like the universe, the devil, the towers,
Right,
the
the
lovers,
fool,
the magician.
right.
So what do they have representing? I'm so curious.
So the fool is actually Frankenstein's monster.
Nice.
Guy. Yeah, fair.
The magician is Dr. Frankenstein.
Oh, awesome.
The high priestess, I'm not actually sure who that is. Oh, I think it's from Hunchback of Notre Dame. What's her name? I think. I could be wrong.
I don't know. It might be.
Is it Esmeralda from Hunchback? Or maybe not.
I don't know. I was thinking maybe it was Frankenstein's wife. It was. I don't
maybe.
even remember her name.
Yeah. The Empress is the bride.
Is this an all Frankenstein pack?
No.
I think all Universal monsters.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Got a lot of Frankenstein going on.
Because the Emperor is Dracula.
Nice.
The Hierophant.
Yes.
I'm not sure who this is, but he looks like he's like robbing a.
Ooh. That might be Van Helsing
I think
because
you're
he's
right,
got the cross going.
Van Helsing. The Lovers. Again, might be Dr. Frankenstein. I'm not sure who that
I
is.
think it would be Mina and
Oh yeah, you're right.
Jonathan from. I think you've now gone into the Dracula section.
I see.
So it might have like 4 or 5 cards from each thing or something.
The Chariot.
Ooh.
The Wolfman, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
Strength.
Oh,
That must be his old man. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The Hermit.
Oh, that
I see without your head covering most of that. You gotta go towards the middle. Cover your face a little bit.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah. Hermit. Who would that? I'm wondering.
You'd think it'd be the Phantom because he's like, in the sewer, it looks like.
So I'm wondering if we're going into a new Universal movie now.
It could be.
It could be. Yeah,
it's cool looking anyway.
I had my video mirrored, so I'm not confused by the direction. So
in front of your
without
face,
your head, yeah,
not
I'm just
to cover
saying.
your face, but in front of your face, we see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wheel of
I'm like
Fortune.
totally fascinated.
It's not
now.
Pat
Oh,
Sajak.
Oh, sweet.
I like that.
That's
That's
a
probably
nice
my favorite card.
Yeah,
so
that's
I like
badass.
the colors. That's awesome.
Is it the same artist doing each of the
I'm not sure
cards?
about that. It
Those are
probably
pretty
is.
good. I like them a lot.
Justice.
I'm not
Any
really
audience
sure who that is.
thoughts for the live
Frau
people?
Buchler.
I
know,
wonder if that's the only thing I can think of is like the in Son of Frankenstein, the Burgermeister that comes.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's him or not. I'm just guessing.
The Hanged Man. This is actually interesting because it's the creature when he's upside down.
That's pretty cool. That's a pretty badass rendition
Yeah,
of the creature.
that's a nice
I like
card
that.
too. Death. Oh, this is whoever the mummy is when he's not the mummy.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chorus,
what
I
is his
think.
name? Oh, it feels so terrible. I love that movie. It's one of my favorites.
Kyrus, is that what Troy said?
Yeah, I think that's his name. Isn't that
What is it?
Kyrus?
Chorus, I think.
I want to say Solomon, but that's not it.
Oh, there's Lawrence now.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
he even looks like Lon Chaney Jr., which is cool.
Yeah, that's great.
The Devil.
I have to look.
Trying to get it out of into focus.
All right.
Here we go. I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
sure.
Must be Dracula's brides there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Those are pretty badass too. I like them.
The
Are Brides
Tower.
of Dracula Universal or is that Hammer?
I think they both. I think they, Oh,
The
the windmill.
Tower.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's a really nice one.
The Star.
Tough.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Yeah.
That might be one of those later like House of Dracula, House of Frankenstein when they tried to mix all the monsters together.
The Moon. This is a really nice card.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh yeah. I
Yeah.
like that one a lot.
The Sun. Interesting.
Oh,
The
okay.
Sun Babe.
Well, she's from The Creature. She's,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
jumping in the water.
AG, I don't know if it's. I don't think it's Imhotep.
See, I'm thinking Karis, but that might have been Hammer. That might have been the one with Christopher Lee.
It's showing me mummies from freaking.
Oh, okay, that's
Frasier.
You know, the mummy's chick. That should have been a movie. The Mummy's Chick.
The World. This one's not my favorite, but
Hmm.
I guess it kind of looks like
I guess
the
that's
Universal, like
that's
symbol.
their logo.
Oh,
yeah. All right.
Okay.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah. King of Candles.
Whoa.
Oh, now you're gonna get in the candles. That's interesting. So there's going to be now 4 different. So that was the.
Yeah, they're all over.
Oh
the place.
yeah. So I don't know if you want me to go through all these. There's quite a bit.
Are they all different ones?
Yeah, they're all different though,
Holy
which
shit,
is
that's
very
great.
cool.
Yeah.
So there's going to be numbers
Yeah,
1 through
And the crypts, yeah.
12, and then there's like a king, a queen, a prince, or sometimes a princess.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
But what
here.
are the? There's 4 different things. There's usually wands, pentacles.
Oh wow! I'll just show a couple that stand out to me. Knight of the Claws. This one's a really nice card.
Oh, that's
Oh,
awesome.
Red Death.
Yeah, I
and
love that one.
Phantom. Yeah.
Oh, so they're all
Nice.
over the place with these.
Yeah.
Any Hunchback?
You know what? I don't see Hunchback so far, unless because I'm just all the claw ones are very cool. They're all like up closes of hands.
Ooh.
Nice.
This one's actually really nice too. The 6 of Claws.
Oh, awesome.
Where the claws are supposed to be. AJ, I found it. Troy, I found it.
All right.
Imhotep is the ancient priest. So when the mummy guy was originally alive, that's when he was in Hotep. I was thinking about when he was like masquerading as a regular person, and that name is Ardith Bay.
Oh, gee, I never would have guessed that.
I had
It's been a long time. That's
Yeah.
a great Phantom, too.
Yeah. I love all the Phantom ones.
What's on his? Oh, he's taking off.
When he's taking off the mask.
Looked like he had a piece of ham on his face.
That was a party trick he used to do. He's like, hey, ta-da. It's me. It's the Phantom.
Igor gets some love.
I'm a happy cat there. That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't think
He's
we have
even got a
any
little
Hunchback.
Dwight Fry in him. That's all right.
So I don't see any Hunchback. But well, actually, this might is that in reference to the Hunchback?
I would.
Notre Dame. You think Notre Dame though would have gargoyles?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the
It's
cat.
not-
It might be Dracula's
Yeah.
castle, for all I know.
Dracula's castle wouldn't have cool flags on it because it was like a
No, you
dump.
wouldn't think it's like a party place. Hey, come on down to Dracula's castle.
Very cool. So thanks to good people who sent these.
Oh,
This
those
will
are
go up on
great,
the
Neil.
bookshelf.
Very cool.
We will.
Neil, bring them, and I could try to do. I haven't done that. That used to be. I went through all my youth things. and
Oh,
that
you
was-
want to like that would be a fun video for us to do too.
That would
I
be a
would-
great one.
I would
Yeah.
really be drawing on the deep
Well,
past.
it does have a whole booklet to explain every card, which is very nice too. I mean, you could even the book is
I got like a little
Oh,
hologram on the cover, right? Or is it just like foil or something?
AJ. They did have a beautiful Invisible Man card. That was one of the early cards.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that one might have been my favorite one when he's got the bandages all like fluttering around.
Yeah. One of the claws actually was him too, holding the potion, which was pretty
nice.
You got that Invisible Man to flash again. It was really good.
Yeah. I just put them away, but
Oh, okay. Well, it's amazing.
yes.
Yeah.
Seek it out.
Universal Monsters.
If you find out who does the illustrations, they'll let me know because those are
Yeah.
pretty cool.
What was it?
Fully illustrated 70 card deck. So very cool.
Nice.
And also,
I like that they don't double up on any of them either. You don't see the same one for like different suits.
So upcoming on the show, actually Colleen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even realize there's stuff in here. Colleen had suggested to the fine person who wrote this. I'm sorry, I'm not seeing her name. Wrote this book, and it is An Evening at the Grand Guion.
Oh.
Oh.
Cool.
And Colleen, we all love Colleen here, and she suggested to him to reach out to us and so he sent a copy of the book, and it's really cool because it's actually it's text here, but it's also the text is over very cool illustrations. It's very nice. It's really well made.
It's very good.
Yeah, I'm loving that.
And so I told him about Annabelle and I. We did a dinner and a movie, Grand Guignol, and so he's going to check that out.
Long ago, that was in the beginnings.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
It's very nice. And it's got a couple stickers in here too. So very cool. So Grand Guignol, Greatest Curiosities of Ascendant Publishing. Very cool. So I'll have more information about this up on Without Your Head, and we'll be having the guy who wrote this on the show. It's sometime this month.
Oh, very good.
And one last thing before we get back to the news, which is also very exciting. Thank you to Well.
You have all kinds of visual aids today, Neil.
Yeah,
you're bringing out all the
nice.
goodies.
These people,
without a doubt.
Well Go USA sent us a bunch of copies of The Tank on Blu-ray to give out on the show.
Oh, nice.
So,
very good.
Oh, The Tank.
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Cool. I'm already feeling uncomfortable about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Yikes.
Did you see the trailer? It looks pretty wild.
No.
Yeah. It looks pretty uncomfortable.
I can only imagine. I'm putting it in my little notes over here. Things.
So, there'll be some stuff on the website coming up to how you can enter to win some copies of The Tank. So check out withoutyourhead.com to find that out. So thank you, Wellgo USA.
Oh, yeah. That's great stuff. All right. Well, guys, I got to get running. So
okay.
It was a fun episode. Thanks for having me. Had a good time.
It's been great.
And we'll see you all again next week.
All right. Good night, Troy.
Have a great
all right. Good night.
I'll remember to send you the link. I actually forgot to, Troy. I forget that there's a new link every week.
Oh, Neil Jones. Trying to squeeze your brother out. I see how it is.
Yes. All right. So it was not his fault. Nosferatu apparently has been finished filming, which I'm very excited about. The idea of remaking everything, but there's been like 2 Nosferatus over 100 years. So a third one, I think, is fine. Really, if you include Shadow of the Vampire 3, I actually like all 3 of those. So.
Shadow of the Vampire is great.
Yeah.
What was there was obviously the first one. When was the second one?
In the 70s. We went to see it once at midnight movie.
With the evil dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He who shall not be named.
Yeah. It's not like a great man, but it is a great movie.
He's just a jerk. He's evil.
No, he's a disgusting person.
Yeah.
But that's by Robert Eggers.
Cool.
And I think that's a good guy to make it. He's a very visual director, and he's gonna in my head, he's gonna, at the very least, really capture, I think, the look for the movie. And it's got Willem Dafoe in it, which is very interesting because he's also in Shadow of the Vampires.
Yes, and he was so good. I cannot imagine they're gonna have him. I wonder if he'll be Renfield.
Yeah, he's not, because Bill Skarsgård is Nosferatu.
If he gets to be freaking Renfield, it would be amazing. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, who else would he be?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you can't waste him in any other role. He's got to be Renfield.
So that's my favorite. One of my favorite horror movies, but my favorite vampire movie is the original Nosferatu. So it's, if you're gonna do it, you better do it well. So I'm looking forward to it.
We didn't see it together scored, did we?
No.
Have to.
Because I think you saw the original one scored. So
yeah. With the Berkeley music kids killing it. It was really, really, it was awesome. So we're gonna have to keep our eyes peeled.
Yeah, anytime they do that, when we saw the Phantom of the Opera one, that was one of my favorite experiences at the movies.
It was awesome. Trailer for I'm a Virgo. AJ's asking us. I'm sorry about the card, AJ, because it was beautiful. Are you familiar with this, Neil Jones? I am not.
I'll send you a picture. I'll take a picture for you, AJ, later, and send you a picture of
Nice.
one of the Invisible Man cards. I've not seen the trailer for I'm a Virgo.
I'm a Virgo TV series. TV series? Is that what we're talking about? Because that's all I'm seeing. I'm a Virgo.
You would think that's a very distinct name, so you wouldn't think there'd be multiple.
Yeah. So continue without the
But it says it's a comedy, so.
Absurdist new series. Well, we do like the absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. So I just scrolled down and I see a tiny woman. I think it's a tiny woman, like a tiny woman, not like a little person. I mean, like a doll-sized person. I'll show you the picture.
All right.
I will send it in the book. And if you scroll down, I sent you the link a little bit, and you could share this with our people. I'm so curious what the hell this is all about. Ages, it's absurd. All right. Oh, okay. So it's a normal sized woman, apparently, because I'm reading now that, okay. If you've been searching for more of the absurdist and fantastical in the vein of Sorry to Bother You, then we have fantastic news. Boots Riley, the writer and director of Sorry to Bother You, is back with a new series coming soon to Amazon Prime Video, starring Jarrell Jerome, Walton Goggins, and Olivia Washington.
Oh, Walton Goggins. I'm a big fan of Walton Goggins from Justified.
So this new show, I'm a Virgo, is a surreal and joyous coming-of-age tale about a 13-foot tall black man named Cootie. So,
what the hell?
What are you doing? What do you got there? Up above that one.
This is the website you sent me, but
I know, but it's above that one picture of the
dude
in the purple shirt. If you scroll up from that and give it a second.
It's I'm getting an unresponsive I don't think this website's working for me.
Okay. That is unfortunate. It's cool. I'm really curious, AJ. Thank you for the recommend.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
It is absurd, AJ says. Interesting.
Yeah. All right.
We will check that out. We want to wish happy birthday to Kevin Van Hentenryck was earlier this week.
Happy birthday to Kevin.
His
Kevin. Now that you mention it, he did put up the dates for the Hunter Stone Carving Seminar. Anybody that likes to use power tools, break rocks, make art. It's in the beautiful Catskill Mountains near Woodstock, New York, the infamous Woodstock, New York. I should say famous, less than infamous. A beautiful area, and totally for free, Kevin offers, this year it's only going to be a week, normally 2 weeks, of free stone carving learning. He teaches you how to carve stone using basic hand tools and then using like pneumatic drills. And you can carve a stone that is for you, your personal stone that you can take with you. There's also giant boulders that you can carve into that and leave your mark for eternity. It's wonderful. Neil, you've been twice, right?
Yeah.
I've been more than twice. I think I've been 4 times. And I cannot say enough things about it. It's a wonderful experience. It's very physical. It's outside in the great outdoors. And you get to meet Kevin Van Hentenryck of Basket Case.
It's a
great guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find. I want to make sure if I'm going to talk about it, then I need to give you guys the dates. And the dates are because I haven't updated it lately. It is going to be 16th season. I just expanded this and lost it. God damn it. Sorry, guys. All right. It will be... Sorry. August 21st through the 26th.
Sweet.
Yes. So there's a couple campgrounds in the area. There's some hotels. It's nothing. Well, you probably could find something like fancy and beautiful, but it's in the mountains. It's not. Just go camping or whatever. But it's great. I cannot recommend it enough. It's the experience of a lifetime. You will not be able to do this anywhere else. You won't. So.
Yeah, it really is a great experience. I didn't know if it'd be for me when I went, but I had a really good time. Someday I will finish my Frankenstein monster.
Yeah, you had a Frankenstein that you were making on one of the rocks, and then you had a Belial that you took home.
Yeah, he's still outside here at my flower bed, which does not have flowers in. But
so yeah,
I would like to fix it up and make it into actually an herb garden, but we'll see about that.
The mint. What is it? What do you call the mint?
A mint farmer is what former Jittery John calls me. He has said he would come back on the show for one show, but it's not happened yet. Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, just to do it.
Did you ask?
Yeah. I asked him, actually, it was a while ago, I forget what guest it was on, and he said do it, but he never ended up doing it.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe we'll do it for some type of anniversary of the show at some point. We'll figure.
He left because I was a bad influence on Neil.
No, I mean, we talked about this on here and on In Your Head. He likes the big slasher franchise movies, and that's pretty much it. Same thing with movies, even in general. He likes movies he grew up with, and then he just doesn't like anything new unless they make a new Friday the 13th or new Star Wars. And, that's fine. That's his thing. But, even when we started trying to expand the show, even before you were around, and, he wasn't really about having independent people on, or he was really, even when I had the Human Centipede, he did not want to talk to Human Centipede people. No. He didn't want to talk to even the guy who made the feast. He really likes Halloween movies, Friday the 13th, and Freddy Krueger movies.
And that's fine.
Yeah, but there's only an extent of people you could talk to from them.
Well, when you first started the show, like you said recently, it might have even been on the last podcast, that it was like a joke. Not that you guys didn't like horror movies.
Yeah, well, In Your Head.
The intention wasn't for it to stay.
Oh no, it was the Halloween episode special of In Your Head.
That's what it was. Yes.
And then when we actually wanted to do it as a show, the original, actually, I talked a lot to Robert England, and he almost was the first guest, but Bill Heinzman was going to be the original guest.
Yeah.
And he lives out on some farm somewhere. It didn't have internet connection, so it was a long process. I think that's because I think we're going to do it in October, and that's why the first episode is like much later than the first episode is just us talking, but then the first actual episode of the show is after October. But anyway, for some reason we could just never. He was into it, but he was out in the sticks somewhere, and it had no. I don't know. We just couldn't work it out. So but it ended up being Sid Haig, which was a big time guest.
Who was on that? It was you, Troy, and
John.
John
with Sid on the very first show. It's me, Troy, John, and Ron Hex. And we go over our top 10 horror movies. But yeah, that was actually the Halloween special of In Your Head. The first really without your head is the Sid Haig interview.
Mm-hmm.
So when we started, I kind of, for people who care about this, so the year before I started doing In Your Head in 2005. And podcast actually wasn't even a term then. It was considered internet radio. And so we were on this website that was called Live Audio Wrestling. And so it was actually a lot of terrestrial radio, wrestling radio shows. That means they're on real radio. So it was Monday Night Mayhem, Get in the Ring, and Wrestling News Live. And they were all on this site, and we were fans of Get in the Ring, so we were there. They went on hiatus, and so as a joke, we were going to interview the fans of of Get in the Ring, and that's what we did the first 3 episodes, well, first actually 4 episodes, are interviews of fans, and we just did it really as a goof. People liked it, so we started doing it. So when we started doing it as a show, not all, well, most of those other shows really hated us because they all went to college to get broadcasting degrees, and we were just three, goofballs, me, OIB, and Barbie Richards, and who had no experience. We just started doing the show and started. I reached, so why I'm saying all this is, I asked Sir Adam, who was a host of Get in the Ring, advice about getting guests. Because another little backstory here, I was doing the written recaps for Get in the Ring, and to do that, they didn't pay me anything, but they let me plug In Your Head. So it'd say like by Neil Jones of In Your Head. Yeah, actually, no one even knew Neil Jones was also Jack. And so they let me do that. So it actually got a lot of hits. And through that, so I asked for advice on how to get guests. And I also had their master list of phone numbers, which there was like this theory that I stole this, which isn't true. I was helping booking the guests. And then I just called up people, which also isn't true. So Sir Adam told me advice that I still use today. And he's like, the best way is to just email people, especially if they've got appearances somewhere or if they've got something to plug. So that's what I started to do for the wrestling show, and got a lot of big guests in the first year of the wrestling show, which really resulted in a lot of established people really not liking us. And I was younger and more of a troll then, so it was actually kind of fun to war with people. Now I would stay away from that drama. But so when we started the Without Your Head, using the same kind of theory, I started to contact conventions, horror convention. The first one I contacted was Rock and Shock, which started the year before Without Your Head. And that's how we got Sid Haig and Betsy Palmer on the first two shows, which are two huge guests. And both of them no longer with us. Anyway,
Rock
for
and
anyone who
Shock.
cares, it's kind of the history of the show. And Bill Heinzman was also part of that too, but it ended up not working out. But he was going to be at the first Rock and Shock, or maybe he was at the first Rock and Shock.
Rock and Shock is no longer with us either.
Yeah, it's very. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. It's very. Yeah, damn.
It was a wonderful festival. I know that there's the up and coming Monster Expo.
Yes.
Which
Monster
seems
Expo
like it's
3D.
going to be growing quite a bit in October.
Yeah.
What location are they have? It's not.
Yeah, it's a
down
new location, I believe. It's. I think he said it's a bigger place, maybe.
Yes.
It's got more
sounds
guests
like it's going to be significant change.
Yeah, our buddy Bob Elmore is going to be there. It's very
cool.
Oh,
nice.
So I hope we can make it. Yeah.
Very cool.
I don't think we've seen Bob since we saw him at at Kokomo.
Yeah, in Kalamazoo.
Kalamazoo. I would say Kokomo because they're both like these places that almost you think don't exist, besides in just
Nonsense
being silly.
names.
Yeah, they're nonsense
Kalamazoo
locations.
Real, folks. It is
Yeah.
real.
Unfortunately,
Depressing. I mean, maybe if you live there, it's different.
Yeah.
If you grow up, you have a different.
Yeah, people in I want to say Kokomo, Kalamazoo, make Kalamazoo cool.
Yeah.
Make some.
People
They tried to bring in this weird horror convention, but sadly it didn't work out.
Well.
But the guy who ran it was not
the guy who ran it was
particularly outstanding man. Yeah.
I don't know if he had the intention of being a scam artist, but he really screwed over the guests.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other story that we actually talk about at length in our follow-up podcasts.
Yeah, which he was.
I remember going
about.
off
Yeah.
about him.
Yeah.
Because I don't put up with that kind of shit. What were we gonna say? There was a thing to say.
Yeah, Bob Elmore will be there at
Bob
Monster
Elmore.
Expo.
Oh, Monster Expo, and then there's the Salem Horror Fest, which is really big now.
Yeah, I've never been to it.
Not that old. They get a lot. It's very progressive. It's like specifically geared towards progressive stuff. So they promote like LGBTQ. They try to like boost support for that. The person who runs it is a trans person. and has really just done so well with it. Gets really big guest speakers, like keynote speakers. It's very impressive. And we'll see what happens with Monster Expo, because they're some years behind, and now that he's teamed with George and going to have the film festival, I think there's a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah.
So hopefully New England will be getting more horror stuff. I mean, it's New England. It has to have horror stuff. It's just crazy for New England to not have more horror things. It's crazy.
And the more people I talk to, they like, you know, I unfortunately weren't here when I talked to the people from Killer Refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
And so they made this horror movie in the 80s. And then they made a couple things in the early 90s to VHS.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're local. They actually live in Worcester. And they are huge. They were big. They went to all the Rock and Shocks. And that's actually where they met John Campanella, who made the documentary about them. So
nice.
Which is a great documentary. It's a documentary about this killer snapping turtle movie that they were making and never saw the light of day. And it's very heartfelt documentary. It's sad because the movie never gets made, but also you see like this friendship between these two guys who knew each other since kids and made a lot of crazy stuff. And now hopefully they're trying to get Refrigerator 2 made, so we'll see.
Nice. Very nice. And people can check out that interview is just like a month
ago. It's not very long ago at all. Yep.
Yeah. I am keep forgetting my little good night time alarm went off.
All right. Well,
it's hard to pull myself away because I'm really enjoying the show.
I am as well. Robert Englandson interviews Pepe Petit, who helped out with some of the news tonight. Thanks, Pepe, and he's going to be helping out in the future. So you're a good man, Pepe. I'm going to add your name to the credits in the future here. Robert England said in an interview that if he could pick any to take up the mantle of Freddy, he chose Kevin Bacon. Now that would be interesting.
I followed that up.
With
over there.
Cooked bacon's best smelling Freddy ever. That is a good smell. Interesting. That's an intro. I don't know what I mean, I bet he'd do a good job, but part of me doesn't want like a well-known established actor taking over the role, like a kind of a mainstream guy. But I don't know.
I genuinely think that he meant it as a pun.
Oh, maybe.
He's a very funny man.
Yeah, that could be.
I think Robert Englund made it a pun. Yeah. But I haven't heard the whole interview, so perhaps there's more to it than that. But I think it's a funny coincidence that Freddy is burnt and Bacon gets burnt.
Right. All right, so just a couple quick things and we'll get out of here. Boogeyman opened, actually, they say open Friday, but all these movies open Thursday. So I am looking forward to it. It's actually a story I don't know. I've tried to find it. I can't find it on the audios.
Oh, so I will plan on going to the amazing Brattle thingy on Saturday. What do they call it?
The amazing, but it's a big sale of like stuff that they've collected over the years. So in my mind, it's like posters. I don't know what it could be. A bunch of movie memorabilia.
Like old lights, like those big ass old like metal light things that are probably light your house on fire. That's in my mind. What do they call it? A rumble sale?
Old popcorn.
I don't know. They've got some rummage sale. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
But if you are in the Boston area or willing to drive to the Boston, I guess you could fly if you wanted or walk if you wanted. Saturday, I kind of don't want to tell you because I don't want to be in competition with you.
Right.
I think it's noon to 3.
It is, yeah.
At the Brattle, they will have all their shit they're going to haul out of the basement that people might want to buy.
They call it the Brattle Jumble Sale. I've actually never heard of that.
Not Rumble.
Yeah.
Not Rummage.
DVDs, Blu-rays, posters, books, apparel, ephemera, and more.
I like ephemera. I want some ephemera.
That's not a very used word. Interesting.
It makes sense. It's all the old cool shit.
Yeah. So we should definitely be there before, so we don't want to be late.
Oh no,
all the good stuff
I'll be in line for that. That starts at noon. I will make sure. I will be there.
All right, very good. So we'll do that.
Really,
we'll see
really
Boogeyman.
That's not like
even.
Huh? I know there's a movie involved, but that's not like I can watch. If we miss a movie,
yeah.
I can watch it.
It plays all day. It plays multiple times that day, so it's
yes. Well, any movie. If we're gonna go see a movie, then maybe I don't see it for whatever the reasons. But I can always see that movie. I will never be able to go to this event ever.
Right, yeah, but yeah, exactly. So. But yeah, very cool. Maybe we'll try to do, even if we don't do a live review of Boogeyman, maybe some type of live video from the Brattle.
Yeah, Neil and I were talking. For any of you who watch, maybe some of you watch Neil and Annabelle's Dinner and a Movie. So that is our review show. We meet up in the Boston area, go watch movies, go out to eat, and we record all of it. But that takes I know it takes a long time. Neil has to edit that all down, put stuff around it. Like there's a lot of production to that, and so some of them are not out.
Right.
Probably many of them are not.
Yeah, not that many, but there's a few.
Going on. I mean, like in the course of time, I know there's like ones and yeah. But that's because you have a lot of things to do. It's not just this show; it's the other show. You've got your own life. So what we're going to try is, like this right now is live. Hello, here we are. Is do that.
Yeah. I think it would work because we record them live, basically. So
yes,
they might not as much production in them, but with StreamYard, we could do like the theme and stuff. So I think this has a lot of potential. I think it'll be fun.
Because then it would be just like this. Like Neil isn't going to go. I don't think you're going to go afterwards and like crop this and down. So we just get to just sit and shoot the shit like we are right now. And if you don't like it, you can still watch it.
I think it'll be fun. It'll also keep us like. If we know it's live, like not that it's fine us just talking, but keep us focused to like, hey, this is going out live, so we can't just.
Will it?
Yeah, I don't know. We could go off topic, but it won't be like we'll just wander off or something. But anyway, I think it'll be fun. The idea is hopefully we can also do some interaction with the fine folks when they pop up here on the screen. We'll see.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be great. So there's a lot of benefits to doing it live. You guys will have probably an easier time being notified about it.
That's true.
Have the possibility. I post to the Dinner and a Movie and to my own profile. Neil posts it to like the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
Where else? YouTube.
Facebook group, YouTube, and then either my Facebook or Twitter.
Yeah. So there'll be many ways to access it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys will watch it and enjoy them.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, because then you'll be a part of it too, just like that. You'll be a part of it, not just watching it after the fact. So.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
And I also want to wish happy birthday this weekend to Tara Hutchinson.
Oh, really? Happy birthday.
Yes,
Tara.
Happy birthday. Yes.
Tara.
No, I was saying Tara, then you even told me to say Tara, and then you teared a piece of paper.
Did I?
Yes. And then I started saying Tara, and I started ripping the paper. Yeah.
Man, I've been so sure that you're wrong. My mind just automatically now thinks that if you're saying it away,
no, it's Tara.
It's got to be wrong.
Tara. So the dancing, we'll just call it a dancing mushroom. Tara.
Dancing mushroom?
That's just what I call it. But so we're going to Necroneal. But anyway, happy birthday, Tara Hutchinson.
That is way too much information. Please don't open your mouth again.
Fine. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Tara. Happy birthday to you. I told her I was going to try to get the cocaine shark guy to join in on the singing, but that didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So also what I want to end on, if you have any, before you have anything else?
No.
Is former guest on the show, Gary Kent, passed away. Great guest and a really interesting guy who lived a very long and interesting life, and he was the guy that the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is based on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to play a little clip from the interview. It's a 6-minute clip, so I thought it'd be a good way to end the show about that particular story, and you'll hear it. But he's not credited in the movie, even though Quentin Tarantino actually had lunch with him and got all this story from him, which
interesting.
I don't know about,
Yeah.
Not the coolest thing, but anyway, great guy, interesting life. They put a documentary out about him a couple years ago, so I was glad that he got to see this documentary. and I believe they put it. They re-releasing it. I believe it's called The Danger God. He's
Interesting.
a wild a stuntman back in the more wild days when they didn't necessarily try to take care of the they take care of the no safety involved. So, and he's the older guy in the documentary, and he wore a shirt as stuntmen don't fear death, they defy it. But unfortunately, like all of us, they cannot.
Before, do you want to like put up Pepe's little birthday?
Yes, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Pepe Potita. Yeah. I like Pepe. Pepe's a good man. That's good makeup too. It's very Joker-esque.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously it's Joker, but it looks good. Some people do Joker, not so good. Annabelle was a very good Joker.
I will say I was a very good Joker.
And we talked Burgess Meredith earlier. I was the Burgess Meredith version of Penguin.
I was just the Joker.
Yeah. No, it was great.
My own Joker.
Yeah, that's cool. All right. So we will be back next week. Thank you guys for watching this. I really had a great time.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, great guests all around. I like that the guests stayed and interact. I'm glad that you suggested that.
Thank you.
And it really makes me happy to see people being supportive of each other, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
No reason to be egotistical about this stuff. All right. Here we go. Here's a clip of the Gary Kent interview. You can check out the full hour interview right here on the Without Your Head YouTube page or on Spotify.
Hey, this is John Duggan, and you're watching WithoutYourHead.com.
The Spawn Ranch was this sort of dilapidated ranch on the way to Simi Valley, right off the highway. It had a western street with wooden sidewalks and an old saloon and stuff, an old pharmacy, a couple of barns, and it was owned by a guy named George Spawn, who was blind. He was about 65, maybe 70. And he had a bunch of horses he would rent out on the weekends to riders. And he had about 240 acres with no TV antennas and no light poles. So you could shoot westerns there with no problem. So yeah, there would be you could shoot there. You could shoot westerns or films that dealt with the 20s or 30s and with no problem. And so we shot there a lot, and there would be these kids that we just thought were hippies, all these young girls hanging around. They would come and beg our lunches from us. And can we have a sandwich? Can we have your cupcakes? That kind of thing. And once in a while, there'd be a guy, primarily Tex Watson, and once in a while, Charlie Manson, sort of on the periphery. The girls would try and lure you into coming to the little shacks they lived in. George Spawn let them live there in exchange for doing some housework. And there was a rumor that one of the girls, Squeaky Frome, was actually servicing him sexually, so that he let the band, he was more than happy to let them stay there. But they were just a bunch of hippies as far as we had no idea they had committed the murders. We didn't have a clue at the time. Although during the course of our shooting there, I shot 4 films there, maybe 5. And during the course of them, they had committed the murders. And so we were talking to murderers, but we didn't know it.
So when you were actually filming, would they be around, watching?
Absolutely. They would come. There were a bunch of big old rocks that were around the main street, the main western street. And they would come and perch on those rocks. They looked like these strange birds. And they would perch there and watch the shooting. Once in a while, one of the films would hire some of them as extras. I think we did a couple times. I knew Patricia Krenwinkel and a couple others. I didn't know them well, but I knew them by name because they introduced themselves. So yeah, they would be around all the time. There were a lot of them, as a matter of fact. It seemed like there would be, 15 or 20 of them every day.
Oh, so I know you had a little bit of interaction with Charles Manson. Did you get any vibe from him? Did you get any weird vibe from him? I hired him to fix a dune buggy we were using as a camera car.
and I had kind of a run-in with him because he wanted money up front, which we gave him. And I came back the next day and it wasn't fixed. So I said, Charlie, you better fix that or you're going to get a new asshole. And he fixed it right away. But he was just like a little shoplifter. He didn't have these big hypnotic eyes. He didn't, you wouldn't have followed him across the street. He looked like he needed a bath and some good food and to be sent to bed. That was about it. He didn't seem threatening or spellbinding at all.
So when you do hear about the murders, obviously it's, huge. What goes through your mind? Because it's like, wow, I was around these people.
Oh, yeah, it was a big shock. We thought, well, because much of Hollywood, especially the actors, were on pins and needles until they found out who had actually done the killings. The stuntmen, not so much, because we figured we could take care of ourselves no matter who it was. But still, we didn't have a clue. And when it turned out to be those hippies on the Spawn Ranch, we were just shocked that that's who did it. So, yeah, it was. We were relieved, of course, as was much of Hollywood. But at the same time, we were really astounded that it was those little people living on the ranch who we never considered a threat of any kind.
How does that change just the time itself? How people view hippies and seemed like a great time, and then this horrible thing happens. Does that change like the whole vibe of that period?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, it changed very much so. Before all of that happened, being a hippie and the love generation kind of had a sparkle to it, and a lot of people were excited by it and thought, well, that's the new way of thinking, love and peace and love your brother. But gradually, Altamont changed some of that. And certainly the Charlie Manson things changed it. So by the end of the 60s, that great feeling we all had that was growing before it came to a screeching halt. And then being hippie became kind of a joke in a way and a put down. Whereas actually it was really very promising at the time.
Scream queens, bad dreams, this must be without your help.